Okay, we got Erin Elmore. Very many different things going on, including your dog Sarah, who is not Sarah.
Sandwich.
I'm telling you, I got dyslexic since I started the podcast.
I'm sure because you have to talk so much.
I know. I don't know how you guys do it in broadcasting. How do you do it?
Well, I've been doing it for a long time, so as you know, practice makes perfect, but you can never be perfect. And with TV, unless you're doing like an hour show, it's just a quick hit. You're in and you're out, so it's nice. Talking sound bites, get the snippets, and you're out of there.
So I saw you worked for QVC.
Oh my gosh.
My mom loved QVC.
She was the best.
And she used to drag me down to Lancaster, to the Rockville Square outlets where they had it. And I would watch them. They go on and on and on without a drink.
Yeah.
How do you do that? That's what I really want.
It's an art form, and you get really entranced by it. So I was at QVC for like 10 years. I have a degree in undergraduate broadcasting. So it's really good training because they're live 365 days a year, 7 days a week, every day but Christmas. And they see what's going on, the data in real time. So if you're selling a lot of the red, they're like, go back to the red, let's sell it out and push it. And then it creates a sense of scarcity. And you'd be like, red reminds me of Valentine's. You know, whatever is just off the top of your head, you just start riffing. And it's really good training because they're analyzing the data and you're talking and you have to make these quick snap decisions. So QVC is actually a very fascinating place.
I was like, these people are insane. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. No break.
No.
And when they would have the countdown, like, we only have 10 left. Was that really true?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Because and then things sell out and you're like, you get this great sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
Guys, the red's gone, but how about the pink?
Yeah. And my mom was full Italian, so she would sit there like a gambling lady, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I have to get it. There's only 10 and one leave. The house could catch on fire. There's one leave.
Yeah, people that watch QVC are real devotees. We were talking about off camera how the QR code was saved by COVID. I think QVC was saved by COVID too.
Yeah, how are they now?
I don't know because once I got really political, I couldn't dip my toe in both of those ponds, so I had to leave QVC. But I really didn't have time for it anymore anyway.
Yeah, I just remember it was QVC everything, and then all of a sudden, bang! It went out the window.
Well, now they own the Home Shopping Network and a couple other tertiary brands, so I think it's sort of changing and evolving, but I haven't been there in a long time.
Not to jump ahead, but
you can jump all around.
A bunch of us had said that they were going to take out Tucker. Now, I think it's asinine to actually believe that. What, did they fire him over a lawsuit or whatever? Really? Come on.
I mean, the lawsuit doesn't say... Well, first of all, Tucker... I mean, I've been on Tucker a couple of times.
Yeah,
He's such a great guy. He's sober. He loves his wife and his 3 kids. I don't think he really interacts in person with anyone. So this woman claimed like sexism, misogyny, and anti-Semitism. I mean, I don't think Tucker did any of those things. Maybe it was someone in the... and then the girl complained... There were pictures of Nancy Pelosi with her bosom out. That was a picture of her walking on the beach, to the best of my knowledge. So it's okay for Nancy to do it, but it's not okay for us to hang it up? So I don't like anything. I think hopeful. But the thing about Tucker is he wrote 2 books, and I think the book deals were like $20 million each. And you got to assume Megyn Kelly made $20 million a year at Fox. Tucker was the #1 show, probably making 40. And I think he grew up pretty affluent. So I don't think Tucker needs money. That's the problem. So it's how much does he care about the cause? Does he go to Newsmax? Does he go on Joe Rogan? Yeah. Does he start his own thing?
But see, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think they went to him and said, hey, don't talk too much about the border today.
Yeah.
Don't talk too much about, Biden.
Absolutely.
Bring it up, but then quick shift. Because,
Absolutely.
Big Pharma who's paying our commercials and everybody else, quick switch, but he wouldn't.
Correct. That's exactly what it is.
So he wasn't going with their agenda.
Yep.
So I think that's why they got rid of him. But
Same.
it's a good cover-up to say, oh, yeah.
The lawsuit.
Come on, you got the top-rated show.
Yeah.
He'll make more money now, I think. I mean, he made a lot at Fox, but I bet he'll get some sponsors. He'll get it. He might crush it.
I don't know that it's about... Like, if he really cares to continue with the movement, I could almost see him like, middle finger to the sky. I'm going to go to Newsmax and just take what, figure out some revenue sharing or something. Yeah. It's not about the money anymore. It's about going guns blazing. Or he'll just fade into obscurity and go fly fishing.
He's so cool. I'm good friends with John Rourke. I think you know John.
Yes.
Rourke, right?
Yes.
And we're in the middle of scheduling Tucker, and I saw him on, I think, who's the guys I didn't know that was making me fun? Nelk Boys.
Nelk Boys.
I saw him throwing a chew, and I was like, he's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
He has no TVs in his house.
I
Probably
did
better.
not know that.
Yeah, it's probably better, though.
But I've had to tune out recently because watching the news and just staying so full time in this, like, it's consuming and it like overwhelms you and keeps you up at night. So I have to mix in some like housewives.
No, I'm going in the other room. I already
Yeah.
do now. I can't take it.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, it's mind-numbing, painful nonsense. It's terrible.
And from a broadcaster's point of view, you know, when you were coming up, it wasn't like this, right?
The Apprentice, which I was on with Donald Trump, 2006, one of the first seasons. 2 million people tried out. I made it. It was real. I mean, listen, once, you know, having never been on reality TV, you're like, this is crazy. And then you would see sometimes they would plant a seed for they would want you to talk about someone or something like that. But mine was real, you know? It was real.
How'd you get, where were you when The Apprentice 3 happened? What were you doing? How'd you get picked? And how does that all happen?
Okay. So I went to a live audition in my home city where you guys know well, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I was practicing law. I was hating my life. I was 25, 26 years old. I was like, I am not cut out for this
Was she doing
crap.
litigation or something?
I was basically
Like divorce?
No, I was doing products liability litigation, like insurance defense. It was the worst. It was terrible.
Advil.
Yeah, basically. So I walked down to the Lowe's Hotel in Philadelphia, saw all these people standing in line. I was one of the last people in line. And I just like something came over me. I was like, I got this in the bag. I got this in the bag. And they put us in a boardroom scenario. And there was this really young kid. And he was like, I should be on The Apprentice because my dad's rich. And I just couldn't take it. I chimed in. I was like, do you know what nepotism is? If so, you can stay. If not, you're leaving because we're all here because we worked hard. I went to law school. I passed the bar. Donald Trump is not about nepotism. He's about hardworking men and women. If you're not hardworking, get out. What's nepotism?
You mean a trust fund boy?
Yeah, and he didn't know what nepotism was. So I said, "You're leaving now." And he was like, "Really?" And they were like, "So I just excoriated this poor kid." And the other trick was, so like the person moderating was like, "Hey guys, just go home. We'll call you tomorrow if you made it." And she like looks at me. She's like, "Shh, come here." So she's like, "Stay here. Don't make any noise. Just pretend like we're talking." She's like, so, you know, and then she's like, you've made it to the next round, but don't let anyone know. We don't want to draw any attention. And then next round. That day it was like 6 rounds, and every time it was a higher level producer, higher. And then basically 2 more like little videos I had to make, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, I was in Trump Tower.
So what happens at each round?
Every week, air quotes week, is 3 days. And you get a task on the first day. The second day, you like execute and find out who wins. The third day is the boardroom. You do it all over again.
Out of those tasks, give me a crazy one that you did and how it went.
Oh, well, the best one for me was because I knew I wanted to get back into broadcasting. There was like this MTV Junior kind of network called Fuse TV.
Yeah,
and we did a rock auction with like the Bare Naked Ladies and Gene Simmons from Kiss. And I was like this, and President Trump was like, you're really good on television. I was like, I've heard all I need. I'm quitting. I'm done, basically. And then the next one was a Home Depot task. And I was like, I didn't go to law school, you know, put on high heels and hair, makeup, and nails to go stand in a Home Depot. I was like, I would pay someone to do that. So I was like, I know what a crown is, but not a crown molding. And I got fired. It was very funny.
I don't know what crown molding is now.
Well, it's like, you know.
That thing on the top, right?
Yeah.
Right. I can't even build a table.
Yeah.
Really,
Are
I
you
can
Jewish?
No, I'm Italian.
Oh, that's right. Well, we're basically the same because I'm married to a Jewish man and I converted to Judaism.
Yeah.
How does a Jewish guy screw in a light bulb? He hires someone.
You hire somebody.
Yeah.
yeah. I can't build anything. I can code on a computer, but I can't build
everyone
anything.
has a strength. Not everyone's meant to do everything.
I mean anything. Even
I have
like
a great
chair.
handyman.
Do you?
Yeah.
I need one. Ask him for just a dumb table like this. Everybody was like 4 months out. I'm like, look, I'll give you whatever you want. Just build me a freaking table. You know what I mean? It's
You
fucking
don't have
piece
to
of
be good at
plywood.
everything,
Yeah.
you know?
Couldn't find anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now, you'll text me. I have a great handyman, and
Okay.
he comes right away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he's not all drugged up on opiates.
Oh,
and
he's
does
like a
half the
normal
work?
old dude.
Wow, that's about
Yeah,
one
like-
in a million.
Hard to find that.
Oh, well, I live in Jupiter, so maybe it's like a little more normal up there.
Yeah, out here you get one and they come in, they're all good for a while, and suddenly, you know, like the light's a little crooked, and you're like, oh, you hit the oxys. All right.
Yeah, no, up where I live, it's way more normal.
Yeah, that's what Danny was telling me.
Yeah, Danny's awesome.
Yeah, he thinks Jupiter's like the new Palm Beach Island.
Yeah, but like way chiller people, very conservative people, lots of families. It's great.
So you go in. So now you make it to The Apprentice.
Yep.
Right? So tell me about the first day when you go on.
Oh, I don't.
You seem very confident, so it doesn't seem like you were worried at all.
No, I just went in like I was who I was, and it's funny. The producers portrayed. You know how people say, "Oh, they took my words out of context." If you didn't say them, they can't make you say it unless you say it.
Right.
right? So I didn't ever come across any way other than the way that I was. And Trump loved me because I talked to him in sound bites. I said something, I said it quickly, concisely, to my point, smart, and then shut the F up.
Yeah,
And he loved
there was
that.
no like BSing around. Right?
No. But now I get to see him living here all the time, go to Mar-a-Lago. So it's full circle.
And then on 3, what was the funnest thing you did?
It was really hard work. We were really busting our butts. But I guess going on Steve Forbes' yacht, and we got to meet Steve Forbes. And so it was cool.
Tough life.
And I got to golf with President Trump.
Is he good at golfing?
Yeah. Well, I was my only time I had ever golfed. The clip's on my social media. It's pretty funny. And he's basically making fun of me the whole time. But it was super fun. And so all of it was fun.
So now being there at that time, what was the most you learned from Donald Trump at that time?
He didn't really give me to me, it was really a lesson in networking because I kept in touch with him afterwards. And I just said, hey, I know I was fired, but can I please keep in touch? I really respect you and your team, blah, blah, blah. He wrote me letters of recommendation. He helped me get my first job in broadcasting. When he started running for president, the campaign and I were in touch about becoming a surrogate, which I did become, and then became the deputy press secretary at the RNC. So to me, it was really use this opportunity as a life lesson to propel yourself forward.
Huh, funny. You never hear about that, how he, was nice enough
not.
to write a recommendation.
I still
for
have it.
somebody doesn't know from a TV show.
Yeah.
Never hear about that one.
Of course not. Yeah.
What were you going to say, Rob?
No, I was going to say, that's the thing with kids nowadays, too. Sometimes, you got fired, right, per se, on the show. You got to fail sometimes to gain. And kids nowadays, it's, the trophy we talk about all the time. You get a trophy for everything.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like to lose and to learn. That's how you learn.
You have to fall down and fail while you're young and not be afraid of failure. And these kids with their safe spaces and participation trophies.
Don't get me going on that one.
I know.
Nope.
And the what's the thing in the military?
The timeout card?
Timeout cards. Do you know it?
That's so embarrassing.
They
the
have
freaking military.
in the military.
Do you think the Chinese military has that? Do you think the Russian troops have that? No, we have transgender bathrooms in the military.
Oh, you mean China and Russia that Biden basically allowed to align together? Is that what you mean?
He created
Along
that.
with Serbia and North Korea, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
Instead, we had the cast of Ted Lasso at the White House. That's what they were doing.
Oh yeah. I
True
know what
story.
You're talking about now. No, I know.
I've never seen the show because I try not to participate in Hollywood culture.
Yeah, that's probably good.
But yeah, while Xi Jinping and Putin were meeting, we had the cast of Ted Lasso at the White House.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're doing real good over here.
Yeah, real great. Now, if you compare Trump, celebrity guy on TV, to Trump president, what do you see different?
I probably have been asked that 5,000 times, and I don't mind being asked that at all. It's a great question. He's exactly the same, but just maybe a little bit funnier when he doesn't have a camera in front of his face.
I swear, in another dimension, if there's other dimensions, he's a comedian.
He's so funny.
He's funny.
He's had I'm trying to think of, I don't know, stories that, my husband and I were at Mar-a-Lago, and I had just done my Big Dog Ranch charity event, which is there every year, and he comes into this room, and it's like 1,000 women, and my husband says, President Trump, you walked in that room, I would have thought you were the Beatles. And he said, the only thing they haven't done is thrown their underwear at me like Elvis. And I'm like, he's funny.
I heard him.
Funny,
I think it was
better than sniffing kids.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. He was on either Levin or Tucker, and he goes and he's talking about, I think the guy in Afghanistan or somewhere, and they were going back and forth, and he was saying how Biden that deal just went to shit. And they were battling about whatever. And Trump basically said to him, hey, check your email. See, that's your house. If you like to keep that, you're going to basically do what I say, or I'm just going to blow it to pieces. And he's like, we were friends ever since.
But it's
I'm
true.
dying. But it's funny, though, when
Yeah.
he says it,
Yeah. Because the way he says it is so deadpan, right?
Yeah.
But it's true. It's like they were scared of Trump. And now Biden, they're like, he falls off his bike. He's fallen up the stairs of Air Force One 3 times. He can't even complete a sentence. He got lost trying to walk into the White House. Secret Service had to steer him. He allegedly pooped his pants at the Vatican. Like, those are just rattling off the top of my head.
Oh, we had Roger Stone in. He wouldn't end with that, with the pooping in the pants.
Even my son knows that one.
He's like, this, you know how Roger is.
Roger Stone.
Yeah.
Did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I have that shirt.
Roger. Yeah, he gave us a shirt, The Rock. He was going on and on about pooping the pants. He's like, what? He was comparing it to what president, and I can prove it. He had plaid pants on, and then, I mean, you know how Roger is.
Yeah.
He just went
look
nuts on him. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Breaking news, Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right. They are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. From a beard trim to a fresh shave, the technology behind Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows you to shave your signature beard look. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet by going to manscaped.com and using code MSCS Media for 20% off and free shipping. No one likes a weird beard, so say goodbye to all the stubble trouble with Manscaped's Pro Beard Kit. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a monster of fixing faces. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. No more messing around in drawers, this color one, that color one, all with one guard. Plus, it's waterproof, so you can shave in the shower and avoid all that hair in the sink. The Pro Kit doesn't end there, though. First, there's the beard shampoo and conditioner. You need to remember your hair is different. Next, Manscaped's beard oil. Cap it off with beard balm. The Pro Kit also comes with 3 different gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code MSCS Media at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code MSCS Media. This episode is sponsored by ZBiotics. What is ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic? The ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is a genetically engineered probiotic you drink before drinking alcohol to avoid that rough next morning and get back to living your life. PhD scientists invented it because they know the real problem is not dehydration. It's a toxic byproduct of alcohol, and ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the only product that breaks it down. Just remember to drink responsibly and plenty of rest too. Every time I have ZBiotics before drinking, I'm amazed at how good I feel the next day. ZBiotics is a must-have for me because it means I'm still going to make my daily workout even if I have a few drinks the night before. That's important to me. You can get ZBiotics for 15% off your first order using my code MSCS Media at checkout. I recommend getting the 6-pack. That's what I got. It's a great deal. You have a couple extra to share with friends. Go to zbiotics.com/MSCS Media. That's Z as in zebra, biotics, BIOTICS.com/MSCS Media. Or scan the QR code on the screen right now and get 15% off your first order.
Looking at it from the outside perspective, right? You got Biden. How old is he now?
90.
Yeah,
whatever it is. We see the.
He's like the crypt keeper. Remember that?
You've seen the decline even for the past couple of years. Who in their right mind says, like, just given his age at this point, like, this is the right decision to run again? Like, who is telling him, like, Joe, yeah, run again,
right?
Joe? Like, who is doing that?
I mean, I often have the conversations about who's pulling the strings in Washington because I truly don't know. But the only good thing I can say about, like RFK running, I think is really good. Does he have a chance? Not really. But he's a big anti-vax, not anti-vaxxer in the negative connotation. He brought a lot of light and honesty and truth to that conversation, and he's anti-censorship. But what he will do is he will make Biden spend money in the primary, which is good, and they will make him get out of his house, which is good. Because RFK is a real name, a real person. I'm sure the mainstream media will shadow him and sort of keep him silenced as much as they can. But with that name, hopefully, at least we have a challenger for Biden who can be taken seriously.
We had Edward Dowden last week. He's a cool dude.
I don't know him.
Oh, he wrote the book. He's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Cases of the Unknown. All the kids that passed away, and Robert Kennedy Jr. He forwarded it. You don't know who Edward Dowden is?
No.
Oh, he's a cool dude. Can you pull him up?
I'll pull it up the book.
Big time. And so when I seen that Robert Kennedy Jr. forwarded it. Right,
yeah.
Whatever the forward thing means.
Yeah, wrote the forward.
Yeah, whatever.
Like the thing you read before you start reading the book.
Yeah. So like when I have guests, like I'll look the day before,
yeah,
just so like it's fresh. And then I saw he was a Democrat, And at first, it didn't make any sense to me because I'm like, here's Down, who Dr. Malone and Peter McCullough were working with because they wanted a Wall Street guy, a top Wall Street guy, to come in and look at the trends. You know, like, you know, in the stock market, Wall Street, you go by trends and math. So they wanted that, like, a top guy to come in and look at the trend of the deaths, look at the math of the deaths, so on and so forth. So then and when he found out what happened, he wrote a book because he was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
This guy. You don't know who that is?
I know. I have to write this down.
Oh, yeah, he's really cool. He's hanging out in Maui having a blast.
Wow. And is he still a Democrat, though? That's the question.
Kennedy is.
Well, Kennedy.
Dowd's just a Wall Street guy.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't care. He's worried
He's
about
more
his billions of
conservative.
dollars.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kennedy had to run as a Democrat. I don't know if he truly still identifies with the Democrat Party. He's a big enviro guy, you know. He's
he's in this environment thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't think he would be. Haven't heard him articulate his positions on everything, but I haven't heard him be not like no more gas stoves, just more like we need to clean up the Hudson River, you know, which is fine.
He's playing like that middle game right now.
But that's what we need: people that are not insane.
Aren't you worried about Michelle
Who's Michelle?
Obama?
So from what I heard, more last time than this time, to be honest. But from what I've heard is from people that know her, that when she was like still working in Chicago before Barack was president, she's extremely lazy, and that she wouldn't want to. She wants to be retired. She wants to have the life of sort of luxury, and she wouldn't want the day-to-day minutia of campaigning and running Washington. That's what I've heard from people that allegedly know her. But would she be a real contender if? Yeah.
She'd be a problem.
Yeah.
That's the only one who I think would be a problem, assuming they don't find another way to rig it. Because right now everybody's looking at the mail-ins, they're looking at box 3, whatever. They're not going to do it that way.
You know, I don't know how. Like, for me, the only thing it gives me hope is that you can't really air quotes cheat if it's more than 1%. So last time Biden won by 50-some thousand votes, right? I think so. So you have to find those votes, like ballot harvesting. That's what I think the most realistic way they cheat is ballot harvesting. But it's not really cheating, so they're allowed to do it, so we need a ballot harvest. So having said that, if enough people are fed up enough that are Democrats that vote for whoever the Republican is, they can't cheat enough, then we win. So we have to hope they underestimate how pissed off people are.
But if they're taking your employer work number and turning that into 4 people that they can vote, that's a problem.
I haven't even heard about. So, like, what's your employer work number?
What do you call that?
EIN.
Your EIN?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so your I. But that's if you have a company. So
in the Google whistleblower, right? Yeah, pulled it up. They're taking EIN, employer work ID, whatever.
your tax identification number.
But even if you work for somebody, you get a number, some type of number. They can take that and turn you, like they have mine, his, everybody's, and they can turn that into 5 people.
So, I mean, that's something I don't know or understand. But
I'll
like,
email to you.
Well,
jeez.
I still got. I told you my brother-in-law lives in the old house we used to live in up north. He got a voter ID card from me last week at the house. He goes, "Oh, you're still voting here?" I said, "What?"
You're like,
so
I have
that's
to
like,
change that.
yeah, crazy. I mean,
Yeah, like
So
when I
that's my
die, don't let
concern.
me vote Democrat.
So that's my concern. So even if you, say, Trump runs, some douchebag on the other side tries to run, he doesn't win. Technically, Trump wins. But how do you beat them? How do you beat them with all their power and
With
money?
all their, yeah. Well, I just read today 60% of people do believe that the last election had interference. 60%.
Right, but say those 60% go out vote, and say Republicans win by a landslide,
Like we probably did last time.
which Biden got 80 million more votes
Most
than any
popular
other president on the planet, more than anyone, more than Obama. Come on.
I don't believe it. I just don't know how they did it. Like, I do think there's ballot harvesting, and
A lot.
But-
But so how do you beat that? That's
we have to do whatever it is that they're doing that's above my pay grade.
yeah.
We need to do.
Gotta get.
But the problem is we'll do whatever they were doing that was illegal, and then they'll arrest all of us for it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like, we're the ones that are insurrectionists, but they could burn down Chicago, Portland, Minneapolis, Philadelphia, anywhere. And those are mostly peaceful protests. But when we do it, it's an insurrection.
Like the January 6th thing.
Yeah. And then there was an insurrection at the Tennessee House after those shootings.
Yeah.
No one did anything. It's only when we do it.
Yeah. And they want the guns away.
Yeah.
And the January 6th thing, we had, 3 or 4 of the guys in? And they were like, the feds told us to go in. They basically set them up.
You saw it, the video saying, come on in.
No, I told them, nice guys. They were like, they told us to go in. Boom, arrested. Jesus, I mean.
Well, that's why I think Tucker's gone, because he did that expose on January 1st that got, the QAnon shaman released, Jacob Chansley.
Yeah. And now they have somebody over in Russia, and they get the NBA player out for smoking.
For like
the arms dealer. For the arms dealer.
The arms dealer, yeah.
Jesus,
Dangerous guy.
Meanwhile, there's Biden laundering all that money through Ukraine. Oh, boy.
Oh, when people are like, you mean you don't support Ukraine? I'm like, no, I don't. No.
No, like, do you not realize how dirty they are?
Yeah.
They
Zelensky is an actor.
Yeah, he's an actor. NATO went there 8 times, and we're like, you're doing stuff behind our back with the nukes. You're doing the adrenaline thing with kids. That's what Putin was bombing initially.
I didn't even know that, but I also think that we don't know where that money is. Yeah, he's dirty, totally. And they shut down the free press there. You think like it's not a democracy over there.
No.
Like if you were Russian Orthodox, you're not allowed to celebrate your religion. So it's not like they're some great democracy.
And how does a guy live in how much was his house? 60 million, 20 million? He makes $400K as a president, 150 as vice. Guy's living in like a $20-30 million house.
Oh yeah, he's never had a legitimate job.
Good investments, Tommy. Good investments.
Good investments. I need to talk to Ukraine.
I know. Let's get in on the grift.
Then you could take that 10 million that he's laundering through and find a way to beat him.
Right.
I
think publicly something really bad is going to happen to Joe because he's got dementia.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no doctor. We're not going to go down that road. But have you met people that are like, no, he's fine? Well, I don't talk to Democrats really.
They dodge it.
Okay, so they will not give you an answer.
Because I try to be like a little bit neutral, even though it's tough, or just to see what they think.
Okay, because you don't seem neutral to me, which is good.
No, I'm not. And I don't care.
See, my dog got upset about that. He just.
I'm sorry, Sandwich. I'll give you a good sandwich.
Sandwich is a Republican dog.
Yeah. But I want to hear like what their perspective is now, and it's that type of thing.
But here's what I get, because I did talk to a Democrat the other day because I didn't know he was a Democrat. Well, I don't like the extremes on either side. I was like, what are the extremes on the right? Like what? I mean, I guess if you had to play devil's advocate, they could talk about like abortion and things like that. But other than that, what are we doing that's extreme? I'm like, that's funny. I just want my kid to learn math and not think that he has 3 penises.
Yeah. Or maybe put like wood shop back in.
Yeah. Oh my God. My wood shop teacher had like 3 fingers. I love that class.
Right. But isn't that what it's supposed to be? Like a man being a man?
What about the wood shop teacher in Canada? I don't think we need to bring that back. But yeah,
He's
I was
the
like,
one who told me. I didn't know. I almost fell over when he told me that he has 2 boys.
Cut from the arts and cut from sports even. I mean,
not to rehash this. Tell Erin about Mrs. Mike, Mr. Mike, whatever the hell his name is. Wait till you hear this one.
Yeah,
the kid's 11.
My son, last year at school, he got there's a teacher, and basically, I guess the teacher wants to be a girl, whatever it may be.
Right.
But was told
teacher wants to be a girl.
So the teacher's a boy and wants to be a girl.
Correct.
Okay.
And
the teacher.
So they refer to the teacher as Mr. Smith, right? That's his name, Mr.
Sure,
Smith.
Sure. Yeah.
But he was told they told the class that they can no longer call him Mr. Smith. It has to be Mix.
MX, yeah.
Mix Smith. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, I just sent an email back from him, and I said, "Dear Mr. Smith,
Mr. with the Mr.
My son, I explained it, never emailed me back. I didn't get a complaint from the school, and that was the end of that conversation." But
yeah, I would. I don't. I think it was Jordan Peterson that said,
I never heard of it.
I don't talk to a schizophrenic's imaginary friends the same reason why I won't use your preferred pronouns, because you're crazy.
What's the mix thing? Oh,
mix.
Because
you're not Mr. You're not mix. You're mix. Almost like Latin X, how it's gender neutral.
Yeah. I missed that the last 3 times I asked about that. Wow, jeez.
Yeah, I would say then remove my son from your class.
Well.
Boy.
We are living, and that's in Florida. I can't believe they got away. I'm surprised that you got away with that down here.
No, well, he didn't. That was the end of that conversation. After that.
Yeah.
So.
And they didn't even write you back.
He didn't write me back. No.
Good.
So who do you think in 2024, when it all comes down to it, Trump's going to run?
He is running. He's already announced.
Yeah, I know. And then Haley, you got her. She's going to run.
Yeah, she's announced.
And then who else do you think on the right?
Maybe Tim Scott from South Carolina.
I wish Kennedy would run. I like Kennedy.
Who's Kennedy?
The funny guy. The real funny one.
The Republican.
Yeah.
Kennedy?
He's like, these idiots.
From Louisiana.
These morons. I
yeah,
cut
he's
their...
funny.
He's funny. He's a funny
really
guy.
funny.
Yeah.
Yes. And everyone, the $25 million question is DeSantis. We know he's well funded. People are saying he's going to announce after the legislative session in May. Listen, I loved him as a governor. I did. I thought he was great. But now he's becoming the new Chris Christie. Here's what I mean by that. Chris Christie was a first one-term governor. In the second term, he was too busy with his political aspirations and running for president that he forgot about New Jersey.
Yeah, look what happened in Jersey.
Right. Why is DeSantis in Japan right now? Why? Do you see other governors writing books and going on book tours?
In Japan?
He's been to all the important states for a primary. He was in Japan yesterday. We don't need our Florida governor in Japan. And no other governor, like tell me another governor that's gone on an internet, like to this magnitude. He's trying to get international relations experience. Fort Lauderdale was underwater a few weeks ago. I've heard from people that are on Team DeSantis, like he did a great job, but he didn't show up. I'm like, but he didn't show up. Doesn't matter what he said behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think people are getting really annoyed. Like you said you were going to come to Broward County and Palm Beach County and, really flip these areas red. You're not really doing anything for us anymore.
Yeah, I talked to some people that work for him. Interesting situation.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have heard that it's gotten kind of so bad that he might not even run.
I don't think he's going to run.
I hope he does.
I would put money on he doesn't run.
I think but he's got so much money invested in him from these Palm Beach billionaires.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to run.
I mean, his favorite, remember that show? I grew up an 80s kid, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. They had like the word of the day. It's like,
Yes.
Like his word of the day is woke. Everything is like woke. And it's just like, you need to get a new talking point.
And what he doesn't get is the more he says it, the more he's feeding into it.
Yeah.
Even if he's going against it. This woke, the BGL, MKQ, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
The more you say it, the more you're feeding into it, in my opinion.
I just think he's sort of like losing his luster a little bit. Like the shiny new toy has been thrown down the steps many times.
And then who do you see on the other side?
I mean, I don't know.
I know.
Kennedy, like I said, I went into the I like that he's challenging Biden, but I don't know if there's do you think Newsom will come out and run again?
I don't say, yeah.
Or Biden, it'll be Biden Harris again, and Biden will hit the dust, and then Harris will be president, and Newsom will be.
Oh boy, can you imagine that one?
No gas stoves for anybody.
Yeah,
that would be a bad one.
Poor Kamala, horizontal Harris, they call her.
What do you think with that Nord pipeline?
I think we did it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
We blew up the Nord Stream pipeline.
You pull that up. And, it was on the news for what, a day?
One day.
If that?
Maybe.
And then gas goes up, and they keep saying, like people here that I talked to, it's because of the rain, the storm. The storm? What do you mean? It rained for 2 days. What? No, that's what people really think. Honestly.
Wow, it scares me how people don't really think critically.
That's how they think.
And Ukraine is buying oil from Russia right now, right? How are they? What were some of them?
And we're buying from Russia.
Yeah. But it's a big fart. But we're not allowed to get it here.
So then Biden and his groupies blow up the pipeline.
Yeah, of course.
And here, this.
The Nord Stream pipeline.
Scroll down a little bit. I want to see what they say with I didn't read it all. Who are they saying that are I guess
Russia. They have to blame Russia.
Oh, fuck.
Why would they?
Get out of here.
Why would Russia blow up their own pipeline? There's no logical reason for that.
Listen, Putin's not an idiot.
Putin is not an idiot.
People need to stop that. He's not dumb.
Certainly not.
And another thing, I want to know what you think, because I argue with people about this. I don't think for 1 second that Putin is going to send in his top military to take down some shithole like Ukraine. Maybe they're not as strong as whatever, but do you really think he's going to send in his top guys to take down that dumb place?
The problem is now it's I'm trying to use the right words. I don't
Who
sound.
cares?
It's a pissing contest. So now it's like it's like you didn't even want something, and now that someone else wants it, like you're like, well, then I have to have it. So it's a pissing match at this point. So that's the only reason why I think he's invested now. He's like, I can't look like an idiot on the international stage. But does he care about Ukraine? Well, they do have lithium and some natural resources, and they already took the Crimea, right? So there are some benefits to having it, but I think now it's just about not looking like an idiot internationally.
No, but I mean, do you think he actually sent in his top guys to take over Ukraine?
No.
Hell no, right?
Absolutely not.
Like, say he's got to go to a real war. What's he gonna pull out his hand for them?
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, Russia's so weak.
He's
Look at these
losing.
losing. Look, give me a break. And people believe it. They stop. And I'm just sitting there in my head and I'm thinking, Putin is not dumb.
No.
Him and Trump got along because they respected each other.
Yeah.
They made a deal, blah, 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 blah. And to think for 1 second that Putin is going to send in his like red hat top guys, then Japan sees it, China sees it, everyone sees his top people for Ukraine.
And they're like, what's happening here?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, and when people are like, Russia's so evil, I'm like, do you see what our government does? I don't think they're any more or less evil than anyone else.
I have no problem with Putin. He's taking what's his.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And if you respect him, he respects us. There's no problem.
I don't think he's the way that we've been told here in America.
No.
Not at all.
No, I think whatever you see on that news is definitely not true.
Yeah. And we all know that myocarditis and children having heart attacks is because of climate change.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Oh, it's been the narrative.
I've been trying to read through the stacks of documents that were left and losing my mind.
Oh yeah, everyone is the mortality is all because of climate change.
Oh, it's from the COVID shot. Proven. You can't beat math.
No, I believe it.
And Malone was in a second time.
He's so brilliant.
Oh, he's an awesome. He did a rap song.
Oh my God!
I heard you like rap it too.
Not in a long time, but
he did it. I said we're sitting. He was in last Wednesday, and he's like, "Yeah, I did a rap song." I go, "What?
But like who?
High Res.
I did a rap song with High Res,
a rapper from Orlando."
No, can you pull it up?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
He's
such an interesting guy. Doesn't he have like a horse farm on his property?
Yeah, he's got 8 or 9 horses. He's really a cool guy.
Yeah.
He built a studio to do his podcast, and he's all excited about it. And I'm like, aren't you worried? He's like, I don't care. And everything when I talked to him the first time, everything he said was right. Because he'll throw little like crypto things at me. Like every 2 or 3 weeks, he'll text me something weird. And then a week later, he'll like, did you figure it out? Did you figure out shit like that?
Like he'll give you like a riddle.
A riddle, yeah. And he hates Elon.
Because
a lot of them hate Elon.
Yeah, well.
What's your thoughts on Elon?
I think the work that he's been doing recently is good at exposing. I don't know that we would have known everything that we know about how evil Twitter was and how the FBI was colluding with Twitter and that they're not the only social media platform. I think that Elon's obviously very smart. And I think a lot of the reason why he wants to do this is to protect his children from these agendas,
Watch, this is long. Play a little bit of this. Because
what I have to turn that TV up over there. I don't know if it's up or not. I don't have the remote. Let me see.
Okay. This is funny. You got. Remember, this is Dr. Malone, the top vaccine
like gray hair, gray beard.
Yeah, you'll see it. Yeah. He did 2 of them, not 1. He did 2.
Oh, he's funny.
Yeah. Skip this a little bit. Go forward.
And they're definitely without further.
There he is. Look, watch this. There.
Dang.
They shot it well too.
There's Grant Stinchfield.
Look at Malone. Look at him.
Good.
All right, she gets it.
By the way, the guy who was doing like the press conference there in the middle, you know who that looks like is Alan Dershowitz.
I can see that, yeah.
I know that guy. No, wait, hold on.
Look at him.
The guy that was at that guy, doesn't that look like Dershowitz?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dersh. Yeah, that's Grant Stinchfield, who was on Newsmax.
Yeah, you worked there.
This guy's good though. He's got a bunch of different songs like this.
When you've got droplets, you actually have to wear a few masks on your backside, on your rectum. Because someone coughs, so
Oh, there's primetime Alex Stein, 99.
Go in the toilet and actually come up your toilet, and it actually gets you sick. It gets you sick through to the rectum. It's called rectumitis.
What is this? No!
He's the funniest person, by the way.
It's not going to exist. I'm not going to live in a world where my wife and her boyfriend have to eat bugs. And guess what? I'm going to own a gas stove and you're not going to do a damn thing about it. I'm going to live in a 45-minute minimum city, none of this 15-minute bullcrap.
He's the one that called AOC a big booty Latina to her face. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys should get him on. We're friends. He does a show on the Blaze now. Alex Stein gives no bleeps. He will go to all those school board meetings and do raps. And he was the one that went in a lady swimsuit and a bathing cap and said he was a transgendered swimmer.
Oh, jeez.
He's really funny. He does not care. He's like, look at that big booty, that big juicy booty, AOC. You look good.
Remember that.
So then when I saw him recently, I was like, you better call me a big booty Latina, even though I'm not Latin.
Malone and Peter McCall are the two funniest people behind. Like they're
never
just
know,
so
yeah.
funny. Peter's really funny.
Oh, wow.
But Malone, when he said raps, I said, "You did what?" He did 2 of them. He's on another one, and then he went to the guy's wedding in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, it was recent Mar-a-Lago.
That's so
How
funny.
crazy is that?
Yeah.
Listen, you make friends.
Yeah, he was really, and he was down here for a number of things with the farmers. With all the meat thing, because he has the horse ranch.
So what did he say about the mRNA vaccines going into our animals?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter?
Well, how'd he word it?
It wouldn't be as. It's not a good thing, but it's not as bad as if getting it injected yourself through
Right.
the meat because you're cooking it and all that type of stuff. But it's still not something that should be done. Is basically kind of what.
And he says it's still going in you, but there hasn't been enough time.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, this isn't a guy that just says, "Oh, this is good for you."
Right.
He's like, there's not enough research done to tell, but in his opinion, it's not as bad as.
That's
if
what I heard
you
from
would
someone
take a
else,
shot,
too. Yeah.
But they're putting it in everything. They just put it in $50 million in. So there was a chicken plant, just a regular chicken plant. It got the flu. Like one bird got the flu. They shot $50 million mandated, I don't know, 3-4 months ago.
Dakota.
That every chicken plant in Seattle Washington got shot. All the birds have to get shot with the mRNA. And the guy who made the fucking thing is saying, don't
do
take it.
it.
If you do take it, you're going to die. There's a very good chance you're going to die. And then they're playing the card with Jamie Foxx like he had.
Oh, an overdose, though.
No, from the shot.
But you think still people are getting,
Yeah,
people are still getting this shit?
yeah, 100%. And I think I don't think, I know that that's what happened with Jamie. Now, they might say stroke. He might believe
Well, if he took
that.
a stroke, yeah.
Well, remember, it went from stroke to mental breakdown, back to mental breakdown to whatever they're saying now. It's from the vaccine. He's been boosted like 4 times.
I don't even understand that. I just got kicked out of a pediatrician's practice.
Good.
She was like, I need a urine sample from your son. I said, why? His electrolytes. I was like, he'll drink a Gatorade. Thanks, we're good. You need this vaccine and this vaccine before next year, or else you're kicked out of practice. I go, oh, can we leave now? Because we're not going to be getting those.
They wanted a urine sample?
Bill the insurance, make the money, add to your...
More of this stuff. Oh, wow.
Like, I think as a parent, like some people, let's say you have parents that are listening that are like, no, I'm going to trust my doctor. I think you should be an advocate for your own healthcare and your children's healthcare. Ask the questions. Find out.
Oh, I went in. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. I went in and they were like, she needs this vaccine. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. No, we're not doing this.
No.
Here's your money. See you later.
Yeah.
Right? This episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water. It's Fiji water.
This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy. I'd hear about that.
Get a
for 6
concierge
months.
one. I have one. I can give you.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about preschool?
What?
Is that safe at the moment?
At least we live in Florida.
Yeah, is that safe?
I mean,
preschool?
it's good for our children to be in an environment with other kids.
Yeah, she can go to gymnastics with other kids.
But you want them to go their brains at 18 months really start to, they're like a sponge.
I know, but I don't want like she's 2.5 now. When do kids go to preschool?
I started my son as soon as I could get him out of the house.
4, 3,
Yeah.
3, 4.
But what area are you in? Doug?
Right here.
Okay.
But I don't want like some person being like, "Hey, do you want to play with like a He-Man or something?"
Well, we'll talk offline about like some places that like schools, and I can tell you some details that will help you because I don't want people going to our schools.
no, because they'll go there just purposely.
We have a lot of armed guards at mine, so
At my kind of place.
There you go.
yeah.
It's just kind of like going off. I
I like that. That's so much more fun.
So I had read that. Guess who? If she could be one person, who do you think she put down that she would want to be?
Who?
Yeah.
I don't even remember who this was.
One person she could be.
Like if she could like change roles or whatever. Like person.
Is it
You put Clint. You put Bill Clinton. And I
Hey, I
yeah, and I was like,
said
I was
that.
like, you trying to find the bodies or what?
Oh, maybe just to like, so I think so I could get some dirt. Because now my answer would be different. I would be Cher because I feel like I have a little Cher thing going on.
You
Like
do remind me of
70s Cher with that body and those clothes.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
No, I wouldn't because she's like woke and weird and all that. But
She's woke. She's on the woke thing too. Oh boy.
Howard Stern.
oh, how?
I know.
Okay, don't get me started on Howard Stern. You
What
know who
happened
lives-
to Howard? What happened to him?
He used to be the guy that construction workers, firefighters, like people working on construction sites would listen to him. He was an advocate for these people. He was the man. He was anti-government.
I know.
He went from like, and no disrespect, to having women taking their tops off and doing that type of
The
stuff.
Sibian, I know.
All right, to the women's, like, I don't know. He just totally flipped the script, like crazy.
Yeah.
Went the total opposite direction.
Yeah.
When he can't make it, Scott, the engineer from Howard, fills in.
Really?
You want to talk about getting done dirty?
Is he not there anymore? They let him go?
No, they didn't let him go. He resigned, and they took his ass from him.
Wow.
That's a whole story. I don't want to. I'll tell you off. The
Yeah.
thing, but right, Rob. I mean, what they did to him, and
Nice man.
Scott is the
Nice
nicest, one of the nicest guys you.
Yeah.
You think Howard Stern? You think funny, crazy?
No, he's miserable.
Scott is a nice guy, and just to bash this in Howard's face, his wife, Scott's wife, was dying of cancer, and Howard wasn't paying him. All that money was paying him peanuts, and he went to Howard to ask for $75,000 to help his wife get surgery done. She had to get a special surgery. Howard was like, "You got to talk to Mary. I don't do loans." He went and did a GoFundMe thing back at the time. This is before GoFundMe,
Whatever.
that whole thing happened.
Yeah.
And he put, Scott, the engineer from Howard Stern. Howard went to him and was like, "Take my name off of there." His wife's like on the way out.
Well, then
And-
he was
and bro, you-
embarrassed. Then he was embarrassed because he got money, and he's
And then he got
and
it
he was
anyway.
going to come and give him money after he raised it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should send people to protest outside of his house here on Palm Beach. Like, you hate DeSantis, you hate Florida, you hate all of us. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go out, or else I would say, I said to my girlfriends, if we are ever out to dinner and I see Howard Stern, just be prepared, get your purses. We're going to be escorted out. Now, I do not engage in violence. I do not condone violence, but words are not violence.
All right.
And I would express my displeasure with his life choices if I saw him.
And now think of all his listeners that he's telling that they get the booster, the vaccine, after you're watching people drop dead
Drop
left
dead.
and right.
Kids drop dead.
I stopped listening to him after Artie Lang.
I stopped too. I was a big fan. Huge
Me
fan.
too. He was, remember up north, everybody listened to him.
I know.
Everybody. Artie Lang, Stuttering John.
Wasn't
John
he from
hates-
Philly?
Huh?
John the Stutterer is from Philly.
I don't know.
I don't think John.
Jersey.
Well, I would see him in the CVS on 18th and Chestnut.
Yeah, he's been in a few times.
Yeah, he's been in.
Right? John the Stutterer,
Yeah,
right?
he
Back
slept,
in the
he
day.
slept over at my house.
The one that they would, like, Howard to set him up on dates
Yes.
with girls, right?
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going back.
You want to hear a funny story? He doesn't even stutter anymore.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He does it. He does it now, like as his gig. But he learned how to stop stuttering.
How?
He would write down what he wanted to say, and then he would practice it before he would do it. So he was out in an event one time.
Oh yeah, that's a great story.
Great story, because everybody thinks he's like. Now John's a pig. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
What do you mean a pig?
I don't know. How
Like with ladies?
I mean, yeah, he's a pig with ladies.
I don't
we were,
care. Whatever.
Yeah, not me. You think I care?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was filled with Coors, but he's. I mean, the whole table. Man.
Coors?
Coors Light beer.
Oh, I was like,
No, he can go through a
Coors.
24 pack in an hour.
wasn't he skinny? Were we thinking about the same person?
Here, I'll pull him up. But
Yeah. You know, Stuttering John was what to say, and
But
they
there's
would put him in the
Stuttering
right
John and John the Stutterer.
Same thing, I think.
Nope, two different people.
we're talking
Okay, Stuttering
Anyway,
John.
I still like the story because I know who Stuttering John is. John Melendez.
John Melendez. That's
Okay,
all
I
correct.
was, okay, so he doesn't stutter anymore.
He learned how to not stutter even in the Howard days. Oh, I thought he had him up.
No.
So he learns how not to stutter. He's out at some event, and another stuttering kid, this is how nice he is, really. He's a nice guy. And comes up to him and he said, and the stutterer is like, hey, I have a problem, how do you, you work for Howard Stern, can you help me out? Now, this is when Stuttering John was at the top of the top. Howard only paid him $90,000 the whole time. The top he made was 90. So he takes the kid aside. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's my
And look up John the Stutterer.
John the Stutterer.
He's from Philly.
Okay.
I'm going back to like the 90s. Anyway, so a kid comes up to him that's stuttering.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so a kid comes up to him and stutters. They're at the red carpet event or something, and the kid was in whatever. So John goes over to him and says, hey, I don't stutter anymore. And the kid...
This guy?
Oh, I don't know who he is.
He's from Philly.
Oh,
I'm going way back.
Yeah, it's way back.
Wow.
That's how big of a fan I was, too.
So the kid says to the Stuttering John I'm talking about...
That's a real one.
Yeah, he says, can I talk to you on the side? After John had told him, I don't stutter. I'll show you how not to after the thing. And he goes, I have a date tonight. Can you help me? So Stuttering John on the red carpet steps aside and says to the kid, look, write down what you're going to say to her. Make it real, real short. And just when you go to the movies tonight, just 3 sentences, real, real short. Okay, okay, John, okay. What, 3 years later?
No, longer than that, I think.
But like maybe it was like 5 years later, this same guy ran into him at
A restaurant.
A restaurant.
He was a server.
He was a server now at a restaurant. And he was like, John, do you remember me? And, Stuttering John, he's got 30 beers in him probably. And he's like, no, kid, I don't. He's like, I'm the one who came up to you on the red carpet in 1995. He goes, I don't stutter anymore because of you.
Oh, my gosh.
So now to make matters worse, John then is in Cali and goes and gets a degree to be a teacher. He gets a teacher. He starts helping out kids that have stuttering problems. And he told me it privately. It doesn't matter now. The Stern show finds out because remember, Stern was pissed off that he went to Leno.
Yeah.
They call the school and get him fired. How you like that?
What a scumbag.
Real scumbag. Meanwhile, he's doing that kind of stuff and then telling everybody to go get more boosters. And
Yeah,
kill
and how good of a
himself.
guy he is,
Yeah, great guy.
Just go back in time and look at those videos.
Oh, I mean, he wore blackface, remember?
Yeah.
And he has the audacity to call other people names. I'm like, I know when you were wearing blackface and what you call. I've seen the things you did to women on TV. My memory is not short like Joe Biden's.
Yeah, if he has one at all.
Yeah.
What do you think they're shooting him with?
I have a story. I don't know for a fact, but so he's on a lot of what's like that one that helped like NAD or something. But so
Modafinil, maybe.
yeah, but there's this. So you know how he walks and he has that gait that looks like a robot. He's like with his legs. How it's like knee up, knee down, leg, foot, touch the ground.
Especially with stairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you pull up this video, you're like, why does he walk like a robot? My friend that used to be a nurse in memory care and neurology in Boston said that that's a side effect of, it's called targeted dyskinesia, side effect of Alzheimer's drugs.
Oh.
Like if you look up Google, I don't know, targeted dyskinesia or whatever, I don't even know how to spell that. And though it's an effective Alzheimer's drug and it's when your gait is stiff like that.
But what do you think they're banging him with to make it? even 5
NAD
minutes?
or something? What's that? NAD? Like there's
it wouldn't be
he has
NAD.
IVs every weekend.
That could
Yeah.
be part of it, though.
Maybe part
There's
of it.
something that helps you. Maybe it's
Yeah,
not. I'm
an
thinking of
NAD.
the wrong thing.
Maybe a gag or a Coke or something.
I think he's probably on a lot of stimulants
Or,
too.
Adderall.
Yeah.
IV of Adderall maybe would do it.
He's on tons of stimulants. He's on memory care, and he's on medicine to stop the effects of Alzheimer's. Probably
It's kind of a shame because it's not him. He's just the puppet.
this
He's
point-
just
at
a
this point,
stooge.
at this point he's a stooge. And you know who you blame? His wife.
Yeah. Oh,
And you blame Hunter, but you can't blame Hunter because he's too messed up. Like I think it was Charlie Hurt, who I love, and he's on Fox News all the time. He used to write for the Washington Examiner. He said like, if you have a son that's a normal stand-up guy, that son would go to Washington and say, all right, enough what you're doing to my dad. You're embarrassing him. But Hunter's on the take. They don't even care about tarnishing the family name. They care more about their grift.
But Joe's also saying, I didn't do anything. It was him. It was my son, my own blood. Isn't your dad supposed to be the guy to protect you?
But it's the only way. It's a loophole. It's the only way around it.
I know. But you're dead anyway, pal. Like, just take the hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as a father, right?
That's what you would think, but we're not operating with
we're
normal
not
people. He allegedly showered with his daughter, who lives in Philly, by the way.
I read I read the
On
Hunter
Addison
files.
Street.
Yeah, I'll show you the Hunter files. Oh yeah, who do you think's gonna take Tucker's place? What's his name?
Pete Hegseth?
No, I would
No.
say, well, what's his face is on the board, right? Paul Ryan.
Yes, he is.
I have a feeling he's going to step in somewhere and have his own show.
Tens of people will watch.
I know, but I agree, but that's what I
You
think.
think he's gonna take Tucker's place?
I said tens of people.
Yeah.
Oh,
10.
I know you said tens. Who takes Tucker's place?
Pete Hegseth, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're not going to get anyone based in there. You know, they're not going to bring. I read the LA Times yesterday. I read it so you don't have to. But they were like, this is a decision because Rupert wants to sell. And with Tucker there, the price is lower. Okay.
Did you see the market yesterday?
Yeah.
It dropped like I was watching.
$1 billion
Bloomberg.
in equity, right? Or $1 billion.
Yeah.
I don't know, finance or whatever you call it. Net
It's over
market
bill.
cap.
Yeah. That's a lot.
So why would you think, as Rupert Murdoch, who's smart, if I get rid of Tucker, that's 3.5 million eyeballs a night, I'm going to be a better proposition for a buyer? But it's the LA Times.
The highest rated show, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what happened. People are like, they got rid of him because he's bad for business. I'm like, what business? 3.5 million eyeballs every night. You don't fire that unless there's something really, really crazy going on.
I don't get it. I want to ask you about this, not to rehash an old thing they already know. So they're indicting Trump over, the bullshit. Why does his lawyer keep saying dismissal, dismissal, dismissal?
You mean Joe Tacopino?
Yeah. Like, look,
No, you mean like summary judgment? This will get dismissed on summary judgment.
come on. Why isn't, in my opinion, the only thing that guy should be doing is finding a way to get it moved out of New York?
Change of venue.
All the way change it. Who's going to dismiss anything in New York?
This judge's daughter allegedly interned for Kamala.
Oh,
So this ain't looking good. But I'm like not an optimistic person.
Oh, I'm the most non-optimistic.
Yeah,
person.
same.
There's no way one of those charges is going to get dismissed in New York. And I love Trump. I think he's funny. I think he's cool. I think he's
Yeah,
great.
it's amazing.
I hammered these other guys like, okay, the vaccine came out when Trump was in there. What role did he have? And I like the guy. I just wanted to know. And I asked them all, what role did Trump have? He was in there when they had the vaccine, Moderna, Pfizer.
Yeah.
Where was he at? He was there. You know what I mean? That's another story.
But I feel like he was operating under, like, this is what he should say. I was in an unknown situation at an unknown time. I was operating under the best information that I had available at that time. Hindsight is now 2020. I feel very differently now. But based upon what I knew then, I did everything I could to help this country.
Well, he trusted everybody around him that he thought he could trust, and they all sabotaged him.
Correct.
But this dumb lawyer of his who keeps saying dismissal, 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 pal, he's from Philly. I'm Italian from Philly, okay? I know that courtroom. Nothing's getting dismissed in there.
No.
Nothing. But this guy's like, we're going to file this motion, and as a lawyer, you know this, douchebag, for what?
Yeah.
You're just wasting paperwork.
Why
to bill
would the
him.
judge dismiss this?
Dismiss?
Well, I mean, the whatever, 34 charges were basically cut, copy, and pasted. And it was like doing blah, blah, blah in the submission of a felony. It's like, but they never said what the felony is. So basically, there's no cause of action, but we're reasonable. This judge will find a way.
to not dismiss it.
Yeah.
So the only thing that should be focused on is moving venue.
But what they're saying is with the change of venue, you won't be able to get it. It would be the same like jury pool, you know?
But still, as long as it's not in New York, he's got
It will
a shot.
still be in New York. You can't,
because it's from.
You
yeah.
can't take it up to the Supreme Court?
Well, no. I mean, it would have to go from one court to the higher court to the appeals court to the
Right,
And
you-
the Supreme Court doesn't have to hear a case. It's called writ of cert. And the
Oh,
Supreme
that's-
Court decides if they hear a case. And they just have to have, I think, I forget how many. But so the Supreme Court is not obligated to hear anything.
That's right. So they would have to go all the way through it in New York.
Yep.
And then when they deny that,
The
then
appeals,
then
which
they
is
would
like
have to-
Circuit Court of Appeals,
right,
you
to
know.
the federal Supreme Court. That's the
Yeah.
only way it would get there to get it changed.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wow. I didn't realize.
And that could take forever.
Well, that's good. I pushed that off 20 years.
But like they could still sentence you. They could say, okay, you're guilty, you're going to jail, but hopefully they would say that you're left out, pending appeal. But I mean, this case is so ridiculous The only reason why they got it extended was the statute of limitations was expired because of COVID. So how many criminals that like raped women or beat women, they let off because the statute of limit? Like, I want to know that.
You know what I call it? I say, I know this isn't like the exact terminology. You indict him on an NDA,
Yeah.
which a lot of people have, including me. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're like, let's say we were having a business conversation. You sign an NDA.
Right.
I love prenups, anything. Protect yourself. If you have people working for you, then they talk crap.
Yeah. I have an NDA. You know, a lot of
care.
people have NDAs, right?
I don't care about what two people do. This is like a alleged personal relationship. This isn't that special.
She came out and said, like, I don't even think she of all people was like, I don't even think, you know, he should be in this situation.
Nope.
You know? But then you have people going into Louis Vuitton, videotaping it with $30,000 worth of goods.
Okay, as long as it's not over $1,000 a person, they're okay.
Yeah, Naomi Park was in here.
Oh, wow.
We were talking to her, and there was a guy on the corner trying to sell her son a lollipop, fentanyl, and she went to the police, and what'd they say?
You can't do anything. I mean,
They can't do anything.
It's not their fault, but they arrest him, nothing happens to him. He gets let right out.
But you indict him over an NDA, basically.
Right. I know. But that's why, like, we're all from Philly. The people that are still there are voting for this. You're on your own. Good luck. If you want this, you shouldn't be allowed to leave then. You stay there. I was a Republican, voting for Republicans the whole time, doing the hard work. If this is what you want, you should have to live through it.
I think they should get rid of the red and the blue, and everybody just goes up, and you vote for whoever's best. Because this red and the blue, it just calls all this nutty.
But do you think that people in Philadelphia would vote for someone that was reason? I think just like Chicago and Lori Lightfoot and the new person is even more progressive. I think our next Philadelphia's mayor race is going to go to the most progressive. I know that's niche for the people that aren't from Philadelphia. But the greater point is these liberal cities aren't getting better. They're getting worse. So Chicago just got worse.
I know.
Like, if you look at, by the way, 27 of the 30 most murderous cities are controlled by Democrats. 27 of 30. I said that to someone. Like I said, I try not to talk to Democrats because it gets me upset. I said that quote, and I go, what is your response to that if you think Democrats do things better? La-ti-da. I was like, that's your answer?
What does that mean?
Like, well, good for you for knowing that. I was like, maybe you should think about what you vote for when you think of these statistics.
My friend's got a 5-year-old son in Chicago, and he likes to watch the subways go by, and he can't even take his son there anymore because they're just walking in, and to be a gang member, you got to kill somebody, and nobody does anything. He said the last time he went there, he went and took his son, and before they even got down the thing, ba-bum, ba-boom.
No way.
And his son just wanted to watch trains go by.
Watch it on TV.
Yeah, oh, put it on TV. They'll never put that on TV.
I mean, let the kid watch a
put the
1950s
train on-
movie and watch a train on TV.
Yeah. So back to Elon.
Oh, yeah. So why does he hate Elon? Dr. Malone hates Elon because?
I don't want to say Dr. Malone hates
people-
Elon. Elon. Well, I think it might be fair to say he hates him. Or doesn't think too highly of him and other people. Well, I like Elon. Either way, I think he's funny, whatever.
Yeah, same.
And there's nothing I could do. There's nothing you could do, I could do to change anything. But if you look at things and you see Bill Gates, right? He bought all the farmland, 90%,
Yeah,
so on. You look at Soros, Obama. And then you have an arm. You always have an arm in something like that. So you're looking at Gates, you're looking at Obama, you're looking at whoever. And then you have Elon, the savior. He buys Twitter. He has the best rocket, the best car, Neuralink. Okay? Now, while all this is going on, you have AI that's creeping up. You have AGI that's creeping up. Who Larry, whatever his name is,
Ellison or no?
from Google.
Yeah.
Larry
Page?
Larry Page. That guy. Oh, he's a dangerous guy. So now you have all that. So everybody's looking that way. And then there's Elon saving everything. And Malone doesn't like him because he's being suppressed on Twitter. And he showed me a bunch of other guys that are still being suppressed that I thought they weren't suppressing anymore.
But why? What's the motivation to suppress?
For Malone, because he's just bringing out what he is positive is going to happen with AI. Because the birth rate's down 40-some%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have all these guys involved. AGI, I think he said it is about 3 years away from this, where basically, and not to sound like weird or anything, but you put whatever you want to do. You put glasses on, whatever you want to be. You're actually in London. You're actually wherever. And you can feel it, the temperature, everything. And then say you want to have sex. You hit a button, a hologram shows up.
That's weird.
You want Brad Pitt? He's here. Whoever. You know what I mean?
I don't want.
Oh, you want your husband? He's here right now. We're not looking, all right? I want whoever. She's here right now, okay? Now, remember, we don't care. We're past that. But the generation coming up. So say a 17-year-old wants to have sex with, who's like a hot
I don't know these young people. Someone from like Euphoria.
Yeah, like who was big in my day?
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela, I was just gonna say Pamela Anderson. Okay,
Amazing.
so I want to have sex with Pamela Anderson. Boom! I hit a button and I put my finger in this thing like they do to test your heartbeat.
Yeah.
Okay, and the hologram of Pamela's right here, and she can make an orgasm.
Oh God! But
So
like,
now what
it's like
happens-
that Darling, the movie. Don't worry, Darling movie.
I didn't see that one.
Watch it.
But what then happens is, why leave your house? Why
Yeah.
have sex? So slowly the birth rate goes down, and we become extinct.
Well, we're not going to be around for that, so screw it.
I think we are.
You think it's going to happen really fast?
Yeah.
But like, well, what about all of us people that are like, no, we are not going to let our kids do all this. It's like you do leave the house. Like it's fun to leave the house.
Well, I mean, I think the extinction thing will be over time, but I think you'll see it within the next 3 to 5 years, easily, for sure, 100%.
This is too meta for me right now, or whatever you call it.
And the problem is this isn't like a conspiracy thing.
I don't think it is.
I hate the conspiracy thing. I mean, it's cool to look into, but this is like things I've seen.
I think I worry about the meat before any of that stuff.
Yeah, I worry about the meat.
Then like they're definitely killing in all the food.
Without a doubt.
You know Ralph from Okeechobee Steakhouse?
No.
Okay,
I haven't been. Oh, Okeechobee's up by me.
Yeah. We had him in. You know, it's a 90-year tradition.
Yes. Well, I just knew that they've been around.
He's a cool dude.
Great guy.
And he can't get meat anymore because China bought Smith Brothers.
Smithfield.
China bought them all. He had a seafood place. I mean, the guys got like Jay Leno and everybody going in there. He had to close the seafood place, not because he had lines, because he couldn't get fresh fish in Florida because China bought it all. That's a problem.
They own everything, and no one cares
they
over
shoot
here.
shit in it, send it back to you to kill you. So now you have the birth rate going down. Okay, you don't fall into it, but what you're eating's killing you.
Yeah.
This isn't conspiracy.
I know.
mean, this is like
real.
proven.
So you have to. There's like up near me. Someone was telling me about a local produce stand you can go to, and places where you can order some beef that's clean from like small farmers.
That's good. That's the place to go.
Yeah.
So now you have a vaccinologist, back to Malone, who now sees all this, and he had left here to go fly to meet like farmer thing, farm people, cattle stuff.
Farmers,
right? And they're building an app where whatever state you're in, you can go on the app and figure out where you can get fresh meat, fresh produce, and not that's shot up, not that's going to kill you and stuff like that. That's how bad it is. So a vaccinologist goes from vaccines to a fucking app so you don't die, pretty much.
But like, thank God for people like him that have come out during all of this, and there's a few people that have really changed the landscape of what we're looking at,
And then how about Dr. Kirk Moore? You know
I don't know him.
This is a funny one. I'll make this one quick for you. So Dr. Kirk Moore was the top breast augmentation doctor in the States. You would get your boobs done.
What year was this?
He was just here. We just had him on
from
maybe
Utah. He was
2 months ago.
Utah,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Utah, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you would recover within a day the way he did it. So COVID hits, they mandate right away. He goes home, because he's high up in like the doctor world, he talks to Peter and the other guys, right? And he's like, does his research. He's like, this isn't even like anything. It's just the flu. So his friends would come to him and say, hey, I got COVID. And he would say, hey, take the ivermectin, the
Ivermectin works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does. I never got it. I never got COVID. If I did, I don't know.
I have, but I took ivermectin and I was like,
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
So then around Utah, he became known as the guy, not only as the plastic surgeon guy, but if you have COVID, he'll go give you something besides that.
Right.
So then, a 3-year-old, like a I would go in with my 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, and I would say to him, look, my 2-year-old can't go to preschool if she doesn't have a VAC card. And he would say, well, go over here. Am I saying this right? I don't want to get in
Inject
trouble.
yourself.
No.
No,
No,
not
no.
that. Okay.
No, you would go. Yeah, you're
I don't
on the
want
right
to
track.
more
Okay, you would.
This episode is brought to you by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels have dropped substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Think about how old your father was when he was born. For example, if he was 30, your testosterone levels could be 30% lower than his. Low testosterone levels can have all type of health effects on men. It can affect your mood, sex drive, memory, muscle mass loss, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but it can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS Media and get 25% off your test using the code MSCS Media. The link is in the description at the top.
You would go to his place. You don't want your kid to get the vaccine. He would say, I agree. I think it's a bad thing to do. We can give you the card that says you got it. So here it is. Boom, boom, boom. You pay $50, whatever it was. He didn't keep any of that money. He donated that money to charity.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Saved around 6 million lives or something, right?
Yeah.
That's what Dow came up with. It was something like that.
Did he get arrested?
Yeah, he got indicted. Shut him down. He's looking at
Time.
5 years or something.
And he'll never practice medicine again.
No,
Hope he can write a book.
but just how crazy is all that?
There'll be a lot of bad boob jobs out there.
Well, then I had Vita, I could never say her name, Guerrera.
Oh, yeah. Remember her?
Yeah, FHM.
That was a
remember?
lot. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of all the same age, so we can remember all these people. Young people will be like, what?
Okay, so she had gotten her boobs done, and she kept having problems. She felt really bad, went to these idiot doctors. They were going to take her uterus out.
Jeez.
2 weeks before getting her uterus, she was going to do it because she felt that bad.
You just want to feel better.
She gets on a plane to do like a last photo shoot, and she hemorrhages on the plane. Gets off the plane, runs into Jolie. Jolie's like, I'm telling you, it's your boobs. She goes, gets the boobs taken out. A month later, she's perfectly fine. After 10 years of going through hell.
So I don't know how I feel about breast implant illness. It might be like fibromyalgia. Like,
Yeah, who knows?
but whatever. If she
It's
feels
just an
better,
interesting story.
if she feels better, then good for. That's all that matters.
Yeah. We had Charlie Kirk, and I remember
work
I
for
thought,
Charlie
I know you.
Kirk.
How did that come about? Charlie's a smart guy.
Charlie is so smart. He just got married, had a little baby.
Yeah,
Charlie's brilliant. He never went to college.
I know. I love it.
He took like a gap year, and then he met Foster Freeze, who financed Turning Point USA. And, I think we're really losing the culture war. And Charlie Kirk's the only, if you figure conservatives, we don't have movies. We don't have music. We don't have sports. Conservatives, like, you don't look around and think, wow, we're really, Hollywood represents us, So he's gone around to all these colleges and high schools now. Yeah, there we are.
We are.
And started Turning Point chapters. And we have all these great events, and you always walk away feeling so energized because you feel like you're among like-minded people and you don't feel alone.
And he's strong. He's a very, he speaks with
Articulate.
confidence.
Oh, yeah. And he's not afraid.
No.
He and Candace Owens are really special like that.
You know Brandon Tatum?
Of course I do.
I
was
love
great.
Brandon. He
He lives in Arizona too. He's amazing. His wife Corinne is awesome too.
Brandon Tatum is one of my favorite ones that we did. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, I've been to his house.
Have you?
Yeah.
Nah.
He makes good margaritas, or maybe it was his wife.
Probably his wife.
Yeah, he's fun.
He'll tell you. He's fun. He's funny too.
Yeah, she's great too. And they just had a little baby.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Brandon, he knows, he's a black guy and he was a cop, and
Yeah.
he sets the record straight.
I remember play football too.
Yeah.
And he's like, football player. And what he said, he goes, people from my town don't become cops. And he goes, I've noticed racism one time, maybe twice in my life. And he goes, I come from the hood and I became a cop.
Yeah,
That doesn't work in my world.
Yeah.
He was a cool guy.
Yeah. That's what's great about the turning point world is you get to meet all these other really great people that are doing amazing things, and Charlie's just brilliant.
And how did you run into Charlie? How did that all happen?
I've been following, I've been with them for 3 or 4 years, but I've been going to their events and following them since the beginning. And I think I reached out and said, I want to work with you. I worry about our children in the future, and I want to be a voice for you guys in any way I can. And I've been a contributor now for like 3 years.
And then what exactly are you doing for him?
I write articles that appeal to, what's going on in the conservative space. I go on TV. Like this month I was just looking, I've been on, what is it? It's the 20-somethingth, and I've been on 15 times. So I can go on Fox, I can go on Newsmax, I can go on One America News, I can go on whatever. I can go on CNN. So because I'm not tethered to one network, I work through Turning Point. I can do everything, and that gets the voice out. They say, Erin Elmore is here. She's a Turning Point contributor. Here's what you should tell your kids. I can talk about anything, but sometimes it really is targeting people. I always say, I feel like I talk to parents a lot, where some of the hits will be about what it's like to be a parent these days. And I always say the days of passive parenting are over. You have to put certain apps on your kid's iPad. My son, who's 9, about a year ago, said there was a quiz on YouTube Kids that asked if he was gay.
Oh, really?
We were on vacation in Aspen,
I know.
and I don't watch cartoons with my kid that much. There was Amphibia, and now I know this in retrospect, amphibians can change their gender.
What?
And that's in real life, in science.
Yeah.
RuPaul, the drag queen, was on an episode of Amphibia as an FBI agent who tied up and tortured kids and did it all out of an ice cream truck.
Jeez.
They're trying to poison our children.
What did I tell you, Tom? I said you give the kid the phone.
No. My
know
son
what?
goes, can I have your phone? I said, absolutely not.
You don't know what they're watching.
Here's the app to get, the Canopy app. If you get her an iPad, Canopy app. It's like, I think it's like $30 a month. I was like, can I pay double? I don't care.
What about Cocomelon? We're on Cocomelon.
I think you're
right
okay, but it's a slippery slope to like dick pics.
now.
Truthfully, right? You're better off getting her an iPad, having the Canopy app on it, setting it up. If you call customer service, be like, talk to me like I'm an idiot. That's what I did. Because then people can't message her,
No, it's just Coco.
Yeah,
That's
but that
all
ain't
we
gonna
have.
last long.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I've been telling you. I said I think the way that society's moving, what they're doing is parents are having fun, doing whatever, fine. Here's the iPad for the kid to I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with this. So give the kid the iPad, give the kid the phone, and they're getting their message through to the child at that young age when the brain is still like mushy and getting everything. And by the time they're teenagers, they have that whole thing they've been watching their whole life. That's their belief system, and that's everything.
And as you chip away a little bit, even the United Nations basically said how children can consent to have sex with minors with adults. They've been trying to normalize pedophilia for a long time.
The one thing I like about China is they turn that off at 6 p.m. I like that.
Yeah, I'm here for that. Just don't turn mine off.
Yeah. Like if you're under a certain age, turn that shit off.
Well, TikTok my son is not on TikTok. Like my friends that have daughters, I'm like, they look like zombies. They're walking around like this. I'm like, they look dumb.
I know.
But I also said that in China, TikTok doesn't show dances and kids being like, these are my chest binders, I'm trans. It's math competitions.
Yep.
It's science competitions.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
And their algorithm promotes winning these sorts of things as opposed to being like, are you trans? Someone also just told me that a lot of our trucking companies here in the United States, just like the seafood and the beef, is owned by China. You know why? They want control of our transportation system. They also push for green, like, yeah, let's do green energy because they can afford to pay it. And if not, we'll just ship it off to China. So they're basically in our system subverting it. A lot of the people think the Chinese Communist Party is pushing the trans agenda here because it's making people, anything that's making us like, look at the birdie, and not focus what's going on.
But we're agreeing to. We're allowing it to happen. This administration saying, okay, sure, take the trucking companies, take this.
Oh, well, here, let's throw in an extra microwave while you're at it. Here, like literally, like.
Yeah, and the border.
Throw in the kitchen sink.
Let's just open the border because there's no terrorists. Terrorists just.
You saw the Chinese nationals walking across the border probably recently.
Yeah, and we also saw. I don't want to say from here. There's 297 policemen in China. I'm in China. There's 297 cops, like cops with uniforms that are Chinese in New York.
Well, didn't they say there was that secret communist police station in Chinatown that was like
No,
tracking?
it's true.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was. It's true.
I know.
I was like, what?
So what they're doing is, if you're a Chinese national living here in the United States and you're like, yeah, Falun Gong or whatever it is, they're being like, you can't, like basically reporting them back to China. But in New York City, they're like, sure, it's fine, no problem, all good.
Just like the balloon. The balloon's been up there 10 years. Like, nobody fucking saw that balloon up there.
I know. I don't know how. I think we're on a hegemonic decline and shit's gonna hit the fan real soon. So enjoy it.
See, they keep saying nuclear, 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 right? And then to me, if they're saying nuclear, that's to look at nuclear and not look at the AI. The AI is the problem.
Yeah,
Not that nuclear isn't, but the AI is the bigger issue, I think.
I think so too.
And it's just going rapidly. And let's say Malone and all these other big guys are wrong about Elon. Gates bought Chat GPT-4. That's a dangerous thing. For
Oh,
that
he
kid.
owns that.
Oh yeah, he bought it. He bought it. And now Elon is coming out with
With
another
his
one.
own. Well, at least maybe Elon can. Our robots can beat up their robots or something.
They just keep saying it looks like that he's the arm. So like if you're in South Philly, let's just say.
I love South Philly. Are we going to the saloon while we're there?
Sure, let's go. If it's still there and not burn it down, or somebody didn't burn it down
No,
for
it's still
insurance
there.
money. Like they
saloon's
did
amazing.
Egypt.
Yeah.
Remember Egypt?
Oh my God, that was
Old
like.
City?
Yeah.
The old city?
Well, they burnt down Egypt to get the insurance,
insurance
money,
money.
and then they messed up the paperwork and never got the money.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's just sitting there.
Jim's cheesesteaks burned down, by the way.
It did.
You know why?
But they're rebuilding that.
I'm sure they will.
Because remember Lorenzo's Pizza?
Obviously.
yeah.
Okay, well Lorenzo's Pizza got burnt down. They rebuilt it, same size. It's this
that
big.
fucking thing you...
I know.
What? It sucks now.
No,
No, same thing, but you would think, it caught on fire, and it caught on fire, and you would think like maybe they would make some more seating in there.
No, they just probably pocketed that extra money, bought a house.
It
in
looks
Florida,
nice.
and
They got
that's
nice
good.
style. And for people that don't know, Lorenzo's Pizza is the best pizza.
Lorenzo's and Lazzaro's too.
And Lazzaro's too.
Lazzaro's.
Yeah. Jim Steak's burnt down too.
Oh yeah, a while ago. But they're
I
gonna
didn't know.
reopen it.
And Sam's Clam Bar.
I don't know Sam's Clam Bar.
It was right on the end of Spring Garden and Delaware Avenue. Delilah's was right there.
Oh yeah. I think that that Clam Bar has been gone for a while.
Yeah, well, somebody got his head blown off a few times, and yeah, it's some funny stories in Philly. But they're just doing it now on the regular,
I love that we all are from Philly. That like doesn't happen a lot.
No, and he worked for the news up there too.
Which channel?
Well, I grew up in the Poconos,
Okay.
but I worked for NBC out of Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and the Fox there. And then I moved down here and worked at the NBC affiliate here, and then got out of the news and never looked back.
I know that's hard. Like the day to day in the news business is hard.
Well, what did you dislike the most about it?
Nothing. But
Nothing
it's
at
just
all.
now I'm just in a different position. I loved it. No, I have nothing.
Where you were in?
So when I left The Apprentice, I went and worked at NBC 12, First Coast News in Jacksonville as a reporter, and had no clue what I was doing, and I learned everything. But I worked there, and then after being deputy press secretary, I was at Fox and Fox Nation, and now I can do everything because Charlie Kirk hired me. And from Turning Point, I'm not under contract with anyone, but I love it. But I just because I have a husband that needs me and a son that's 9, and I want to be a present mom, I turned out I wouldn't want to do every day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be like, this is my show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Yes,
Every-
Rob would have to get up
Well,
at 3, 2.
It's a local news too, and I mean,
Oh,
there's
that's no
good-
better, yes.
There's good stories you would cover. Like I used to always say, I used to love meeting new people and covering stories, good stories.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, there's a dead body there, and this guy, and it takes its toll. And
Yeah.
it was
Down here, there's a lot of mosquitoes.
yeah,
You're
the bugs
outside.
sucked.
You're doing a
yep.
stand-up.
Yeah, that
Don't
sucked.
you remember, honestly, you're doing a stand-up and, you're like, your feet would be getting torn up by mosquitoes. I'm like, I'm meant for the indoors.
When I moved down here, nobody told me about those no Sams.
Oh.
So I'm outside and I keep getting bit. And I'm like, what is it? I had these guys spraying everything. I mean, I had one
Can't
guy.
see
after
'em.
I almost smashed this one guy. I'm like, you've been here 9 times, charged me. I'm still getting bit. And he's like, and then I realized it was no Sams.
And then what do they do about those, though? You just...
I ripped all the grass up and put.
AstroTurf?
No, what are those things? I'm bad with stuff like that.
Pavers?
What's in my
Pavers?
backyard?
Salt?
Pavers.
What are pavers?
I put pavers out back
Oh.
and then fake grass in
Yeah.
the front for the dogs.
So everyone, even, where we live, too, people get AstroTurf
Yeah.
in the back. Right? Is that what it's still called?
Yeah,
Fake grass.
turf.
Turf. So like my one friend, they have like a putting green in the back, and the other one's like a bouncy basketball thing for the kids, and it's all like, no, yeah, the real grass is a pain.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I think it's
that.
yeah, I think it's overrated.
Now, if Charlie wanted to take it and go on, say like, what would you call that? Like cable?
Yeah.
Could he do that?
Well,
How does something like that work?
well, Charlie's on TV a lot.
But I mean, like, you have the Fox, you have the NBC, CNBC,
I
whatever.
mean, to start like a whole new network would be
like $1 zillion.
yeah, like One America News keeps getting yanked. Like Newsmax got back on. We were taken off, but we got back on AT&T. But it's the problem is getting as a conservative station, you're not going to they're not going to want you on.
They're just going to suppress you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me some stories about being a spokeswoman with Trump.
It was like, I was doing, so for me, not having ever done politics before, really, I was on CNN a lot at the beginning.
Really?
This was 2015.
Yeah.
So I was just actually watching last night my interview with Don Lemon, and it was like on a bad news day. I forget what Trump did, like he did something. He said like he was having wins, like it was like win, 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 win. And then he had to say something that you're like, dang it, I got to defend this.
Give me 3 good ones. Give me 3 good stories to stick out.
So I had to sit with Don Lemon on stage in the,
I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
and I rewatched the interview, and he was actually kind of nice to me.
Don Lemon?
Yeah.
Well,
And
maybe him
He
and his
just seems
boyfriend
like an
were cool
arrogant
stuff.
prick.
he was. This was in 2015. He was really nice to me. So then, you should never read the comments, right? You guys see like people.
I turn him
He
off.
turns him off.
Yeah. So someone made a comment like about it's always about your looks, right? Yeah. So you really need to get your lazy eye fixed. I don't have a lazy eye, but like you really need to get your lazy eye fixed. I was like, I'm too lazy. So like that kind of stuff, like just like I love to play, like people are like, oh, don't. Every once in a while you got to drop a comment.
Yeah.
And what else? Just all the people I've met along the way. You know what I mean? So many interesting people. Like,
But give me like 3 funny stories or hell stories that were rough.
to be honest, I don't have. It was all good things. Like,
All right, well, then give me 3 good things, Aaron.
I just gave you a couple of
No,
funny
like
things.
stories. Like they called me in, I sat down, and this is what happened.
I don't have like everything was normal. Like I just
Normal? How can it be normal?
I guess I'm just so used
The
to
guy's
it.
like Rocket Man, like, you know.
He didn't have any names for me. But
No, I mean like that you would talk about or go on TV with.
whatever. Like to be honest, it's so boring. It's all the news of the day. I would just talk about the news of the day, But it's more funny now that I get to see him all the time at Mar-a-Lago and how sweet he is with his kids and how much he loves them and how he still calls Eric honey. That's like
Still calls Eric Honey.
all the time. He's like, honey, can you get me some of that ice cream? We'll be at the pool at Mar-a-Lago. So it's more interesting now to see him almost like we went to the White House Easter egg roll and my son got to, roll the Easter egg. Like things like that are moments and experiences. But the day-to-day job itself became normal. Like, okay, this is what the breaking news is today. Go on and talk about it, So
It's like, what time do you get up? Like when you're doing that job, what time are you awake? And then when do you get kind of like the
every day
schedule
is
for the
different.
day?
It's not like I had my own show on Fox. I wasn't on Fox and Friends First. So some days they would schedule me on Fox and Friends First, which starts at 5 a.m. So I'd be on a train midnight, 1 a.m, go to New York. I co-hosted the Maria Bartiromo show on Fox Business like once a week for like 3 years. And that was 6 to 9 a.m. And it was so cold in there. That was a grind. But working with Maria is amazing because she's just so smart. But that I would be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Gutfeld is on at 11. That show films at 6, so it's not too bad. So you're just sort of bouncing around. It's not like I was like, okay, Erin, you're on the 5 every day. So you do different segments at different times. So you do have. So the bad part would be that there's no consistency. But the good part would be you're not tethered to the desk every day.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
And you're not talking about like I wasn't there just to talk about one thing. It was just like anything that happened, I'd have to talk about.
what was something that sticks out that happened?
Well, in the news, I mean, shit, you were living it too.
No, I know, but I wasn't like the reporter.
I
being
remember
talked
that I
about.
didn't know a lot about what they would call the Affordable Health Care Act, which is Obamacare, and I had to learn everything about that, and I had to like figure it out myself, basically, and find statistics like this is gone in. There's only one provider in Oklahoma. What does that say? And just you have to become a subject matter expert on things that you're like, I have no idea. So let's say you needed insurance and there'd be like this pop-up insurance. The problem is like, yes, you can get it, but then you try to take it to your doctor and no one takes it.
Right.
And it's like making people understand, like, Medicare for all, what does that really mean? That means that we're subsidizing every American's health care, you know? So it's just like things you don't think about, and you just have to, what I always try to do is make this in a soundbite that's palatable for a consumer, like a mom that's half listening to Newsmax or Fox and just like getting our kids ready. I want it to be digestible.
And what was the point of the Obamacare? Like, I know on the front, the point of it, what people thought, but what was the gain for him? Just the control?
Well, basically, if you get everyone on government health care, it's one step closer to communism.
Fucking Jesus.
Like, let's have government run airlines.
Yeah.
I had to go to the passport. The government doesn't run anything well. Post office, Amtrak,
Yeah.
passports. I mean, what does the government do well?
Nothing.
Well, you don't, like, as a person, like, let's say a libertarian approach, you want the federal government to be involved in as little of your life as possible.
You know, when my mom died, which killed me, you know, when it was in Phil, I had to get the death certificate from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It took me 3 months to get her death certificate.
Yeah.
3 months.
From the state because they're run by Democrats.
Ugh, that guy with I can't believe he got, but I don't think.
Fetterman?
Yeah, but I think that was a bad idea to put.
Oz. I like him as
Oz.
a person.
I like
really
Oz,
like
but
Oz.
he's not from.
He didn't hit hard. He was scared of a lot, I felt like.
Well, you know.
But I like him a lot.
Well, I like him a lot too. A lot. I really like Oz.
He's smart. He's a nice person.
But
He means
you
well.
know our area. You know, an Oz comes in. You know, celebrity guy. They're not going to go for him.
No,
You know
it's a
how
shame.
we go back home now. The same people are doing the same thing that they did when we were 18.
Oh my God, that's
Like
so true.
seriously.
They're still going to Rouge. My friends are still going to Rouge.
I know.
By the way, boycott Rouge. I got kicked out of there for politics, and I have not. I'm
Really?
yeah. Or we can go and like, I don't know, but I'm not allowed back. We had like several buyouts there. I had birthday parties there.
It's pretty. You should buy it out again. They won't turn you down.
not
They need
giving-
money.
I'm not
Just to piss them off. You know what I mean?
I'd rather have a party at the Breakers.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, it would just be fun to do it.
Yeah,
You know.
just to be like,
Yeah, just like, gotcha. I'm
Sure.
Erin Elmore now.
and I approve this message.
And I approve this message.
Who are some of the people that you worked with over the years in TV that really stand-up people, just good people?
So everyone at Fox was so nice. Like Pete Hegseth was so nice and helpful. Stuart Varney on Business. He's older and he's got that great accent. He was so nice. I don't know if you know Rob Smith. He's on a lot on Fox. He's black. He's a veteran. He's gay and he's conservative. He and I
Heavy.
skinny, fit. He and I have gotten so close, and we're like such an odd pairing, and we call each other mom and dad, and we just have we're like literally best friends. He's amazing. Trying to think who else.
What about Bill?
Who's Bill?
Bill Hemmer.
I have heard such great things. I only met him once quickly, and he was the nicest guy.
I've watched
That's your
him
guy. Here
since
we go.
I've watched it when I was 13, 14. Me and my grandma would watch it.
Bill Hemmer.
I've watched him. The guy is
Was he
an
always
ace.
on Fox?
Yeah, I believe so. I could be wrong, but I've always watched him. And I want to know what he takes because that guy is
He
an
does.
ace in
He looks
40 years.
amazing.
And he seems like the nicest guy on the planet.
And Rachel Campos Duffy and Sean Duffy are amazing with like their million kids. And you know, I've also gotten to know a lot of elected officials, which like Matt Gaetz is such a wonderful person, and how he handled everything that was thrown at him and said, I'm innocent. And guess what? Everything always comes out in the wash, and it did. And his wife Ginger is such a good person, and people are like, she's gonna leave him. She's in it for the money. Meanwhile, her family, just Google it. She's not in it for the money.
Her family's got piles of money.
Yeah. And they're so awesome and just really care about this country. And I love from Florida too, Byron Donalds.
Yeah.
Such a smart guy. You know, they wouldn't let him into the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yeah.
It's like because he's not a Democrat and he's black. It's just like he's so smart.
Stupid.
And Anna Paulina Luna in the House, you know, she's our version of AOC.
Yeah.
And she's a veteran too. It's like these people that I love to see, the young people that are coming up in Washington that are definitely not swamp creatures, that really plan on making a difference in this country. So I've gotten to know people that are I never would have gotten to know, and just
I'm gonna get Bill Hemmer on. I'm gonna get him
have
on.
to.
I forgot.
Kaylee, she's awesome.
I'm gonna tell Tony to get him on. I want to meet Bill Hemmer. He's
a
my
cool,
buddy.
I know he likes golf. I think I know golfers that like him.
But he does that. What time do you think he has to get there?
So he's not on super early. He's not on, like he's on at 9, right? A.m.
Yeah, 9.
7 maybe.
So
6:30. Yeah, 6:30.
the group before that, I feel bad for.
Fox and Friends.
Ooh,
Well, that's what 6 to 9 also.
yeah.
Yeah, because Fox and Friends first is before that. I've done that show plenty of times.
And that's not pre-recorded, right?
No,
Is
Fox doesn't seem to do a lot of pre-records other than Gutfeld.
Godfather? How do you get that new spot?
He's fun. Do you watch it?
I want you, but he's.
I think
well,
he does
I mean,
good.
look who he's going up against in late night. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
Remember, late night was like if you got on late night, like you made it somewhere.
Yeah, now it's terrible.
Now it's like, who the hell wants to go on any of those shows?
No, terrible. It's beat.
You know, when they were doing that TikTok thing, I was like, yeah, forget TikTok, China. I don't think that anymore. Because
Well, it is.
Oh,
But
I know,
it-
I know it's China.
But you don't think it's altruistic?
I think if they ban TikTok with that ST blah 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 whatever number that is, then they're all doing the same thing. Pull up our Instagram.
Yep.
Their Instagram does it. They all do it. It just happens that TikTok. I'm a coder, so I can
Yeah.
see it. TikTok's just open source. Elon is kind of open source, but they all do it. They all take everything out of your phone. It's just that TikTok happens to be China.
Right.
But if they ban TikTok with the SEC, right, then they can go and ban Rumble. They can ban whatever they want.
It's a slippery slope to banning Yeah, I agree with you.
Unless the ones that are going along with their agenda. So if you allow them to ban TikTok, which I hate as much as anybody, I hate all social media.
Yeah.
I just use it for business, but I hate it all.
It's the worst.
But if you ban TikTok, then you can ban anyone you want that doesn't go along with your agenda.
I agree.
Then all you have left is ones to brainwash our little ones and the ones that are in their 30s and 35s that, hey, do you know that the bomb went off over here? Give me a minute. Let me finish. Hey, there's a bomb right here.
Well, someone showed me the other day in Instagram, you type in France, right? Type in France, and pictures pop up of the Eiffel Tower, somebody eating ice cream in front of the Eiffel Tower, food, blah, 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 blah. That's an Instagram. If you type in France and TikTok, it shows you protests going on, stuff burning, things going on.
That's
so it's
going
the
on, too.
total opposite what you're getting.
Well, it's like Brave and Google. If you go to Brave, you'll get one result.
Yeah,
If
I
you go
use
to Google-
DuckDuckGo. You think Brave is better?
Well, Alpha bought DuckDuckGo because this is how it went. It was Google, blah, 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 you know. Then there was Firefox, okay? Well, Firefox were two people. I forget their names.
Mozilla, Firefox, but I don't think those are their names. Remember what it was called?
Yeah, okay. So then there was two people in that. The one guy got bought out by Alpha. The other guy didn't like it, created Brave. So then the other guy who was with Firefox went and got DuckDuckGo, who at first it was good. And then it got compromised by not Google, by Bing, basically Microsoft.
I've been seeing Bing on there lately. That's why. Okay, so
why.
Brave.
But again, because they're not in cahoots with all these other idiots, it takes time to build the algorithm up to give good search results. So, you know, say like you and I are talking, we want to find something, like just in general, not something that would be suppressed. Brave isn't quite the best yet because it needs to build up more users to build data. You know what I mean? But if you want to look up, say, something that's really going on, Republican, Democrat, whatever, you would want to go to Brave because you'll see stuff on Brave you never would see on Google.
Good to know.
Or DuckDuckGo.
I do think that Twitter's good for that. If you're trying to find, like I was trying to find with the Tennessee shooting, the name of the shooter, and Twitter always has it first. Always. So if you let's say Palm Beach County police activity, like if you try to Twitter seems to have things first. And the few times I've looked, they were always right about whether it was a name of something or a location of something. They were always right.
What do you think? All these shootings, they're letting it go to take away the gun rights, right?
Well, I think the last one, why haven't they released the manifesto in Tennessee? Because it's really bad for the trans narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it's
It all runs together.
Yeah.
It's so sick. They want to take away the gun rights. They
Of
want
course.
It all comes down to communism.
But they don't want to address mental health is the first issue that should be addressed.
But now they can't because then if you say it's mental health,
Yeah.
then you say someone trans is mental health. 4 of the 5 last mass shootings were done by transgender or non-binary people.
Do you know what they're doing? If you have, is it autism? This is sick. In another, this disturbs me. If your son or daughter has autism, and you go into a doctor in a Democratic state, they push them to get a gender change at 5,
Oh my
6 years
God.
old. Right, Rob? Yes or no?
I forget who was talking about that. Yeah.
We had that from a top doctor. Top doctor.
Because they make a lot of money.
That's, come on.
$40,000 for tops. That's really sick.
That's
I
sick.
just feel bad for.
You
the
should get
kids.
life for that.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the kids because at any age, going from 3 years old to 16, even 17 years old, you're being told something. Teenage years are weird too, right? You're trying to figure yourself out. Oh, I'm ugly. I got pimples. I got this, right? And they just push that. Well, if no girls like you, well then you must be gay, or if no boys like you, then you must be this. And these kids are so messed up when they're hearing this, and then God forbid they do go get a sex change and their parents agree to it. Their lives are just ruined.
Like, that think about, they're glamorizing these bottom surgeries. You don't have a functioning phallus. They cut your skin, and someone said they cut a piece of your intestine out to make like the.
Oh, we had it broken down.
Oh yeah, it was the gross.
We
I don't want to talk about that.
I got you.
I had a trash can over there, and I was like, whoa.
I mean,
and I have a good stomach, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty.
We had it broken down exactly how
and
they do it.
How they,
Not conspiracy, from a legitimate 3 master's degrees. Explain. He's like, you want to know how they do it? And I'm thinking that, probably.
Not fun.
And then he was like,
painful.
And both ways it's bad.
Yeah.
Both ways it's bad.
You don't have
Crazy.
have an operating, like, it's an open wound, and they close up if you have for a female.
Yep.
And if they don't do it properly, you have hair growing inside.
Yep.
All the way.
And then you get infections.
And that's it. That's
So imagine having like an ingrown hair.
3 miles up.
the other question that nobody's answered yet is, if you decide, you're 18, whatever, you wanted to be a man or you want to be a female, and you get the surgery, right? You need to take medication now for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Who is paying for that medication? Because, listen, if you want to do it and you're 18 years old and you want to do that, but you're going to pay for your medication, be my guest. Mm-hmm. But if the taxpayer is going to be the one that has to pay for that medication, that's a serious issue. No one's talking about that yet.
That is so true.
Yeah, but remember what we read with what a couple of those guys pulled up was that within, let's just say a decade to make it easy, the government's going to give you a phone, they're going to pay your rent, they're going to pay your housing, they're going to pay your Wi-Fi, they're going to pay everything you want, they're going to pay your doctor, your insurance, they're going to pay everything.
I should never fix my credit score because now it doesn't matter.
I know, right? There's going to be, but.
And then meanwhile, and this goes along with like the extinction, whatever, that thing. It's real crazy. And then I go back, and this will really knock your head off. And then I always go back to Stephen Greer, who everybody looks at him as, do you know who he is? He did the documentary Unacknowledged, the Disclosure Program. Everybody looks at him like the UFO guy, which he is the UFO guy. But there's way more to it than that. Like from JFK to 9/11 to COVID. The UFO thing's just part of it. So, like there's all of a sudden there's UFOs. They're talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. So you have pilots and doctors that at first they're like, this is what it is, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they're the enemy. They're coming in between a 757. They put white matter in people's heads. No, they got paid to say that. They got paid to make that look like they're the enemy. So what? Oh, there's a UFO invasion. The aliens run. Who do you run to? The government.
Well, that's why of course. That's communism too.
Shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fear is good because when you have fear, you're irrational. And you believe anything the government says.
Unbelievable. And these doctors are taking the money too. Top ones. I couldn't believe it.
All over the country, top and bottom surgery is very lucrative. Very, very lucrative for these hospitals. And these kids that are getting this, they're never going to be able to have sexual function.
I know.
There's no sexual function.
Ugh.
None. For the rest of so you'll be 16 and never have any sexual function.
Yeah, meanwhile, if you're a guy, your friends are, having fun and you're
but
just
how in the right world that we live in, you have to be 18 legally to get a tattoo. I have to be 18 legally to buy a pack of cigarettes. I have to be 18 legally to buy alcohol. But if I want to get a sex change, my mom just has to sign off on it.
Your mom doesn't even have to. They'll take
Yeah.
I mean,
remember what's his name? a big NFL player was in. A guy you don't want to get hit by. I don't know if it was Morgan or it was somebody else. And they went and the teacher had said something to his son. So son goes home. What happened at school today? And his teacher, I guess, was like, this stays here. I can't tell you about it. Guy's like the size of that curtain.
Right. 7 feet tall.
And he can kind of get the gist of what was talked about and walked into the school and handled business real quick. I mean,
we have to hold these people accountable.
Yeah, you do. You do. And what people never talk about, whether you like Trump or hate Trump, how can you go against that guy's policies?
I know. Name one policy you don't
Name
like.
one. Name one.
There isn't one.
Name one. Like Scott's a Democrat, right? Scott the engineer.
Yeah.
But even him.
And can't name one policy.
And at first he was, remember, Scott wouldn't talk about it too much. And he's cool like that. Like he's a cool.
Did he vote for DeSantis though? Over Charlie Crist?
He just stays out of it. He doesn't.
Okay. He won't even vote.
No, he's at that point where he just doesn't even want to be bothered. You know what I mean?
Because like people like that then shouldn't vote. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what
fine.
he does.
Then if you're not going to vote and add votes to the other side, then fine.
Yeah, no, he just doesn't want anything to do with it. He hates it all.
Okay.
He hates it all. But even Scott was like, Trump, I didn't notice one policy. And Scott says like 10 words. You know, I mean, he just does his job and that's it. Hey, how you doing? Everybody okay? And he's a full Democrat because he worked with Howard for 33 years.
Some of them on that show aren't.
Who?
Who else?
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'll tell you, there's someone.
No, I know there's one or two.
Do you think, though, in the grand scheme of things, since this may be crazy, that it might have been a good thing? I know you guys are going to jump here. That Trump lost.
No.
And Biden took over. Hold on. Because now it's really opened up because let's say you hated him before. He's terrible. Blah, blah, this. Now you see, and it's opening more eyes that no, he wasn't bad. No, he did have great ideas, and he was trying to expose the corruption. And now you may have more people who are like, holy fuck, the epiphany. It's opened up. That if he wouldn't have lost, if he would have won, I still hate that motherfucker. He sucks, this, and they would have never had that epiphany. I know as crazy as that sounds.
I know what you mean in a way because, like, when he was indicted, in the first, 48 hours, they raised $8 million, and 20% of that money came from new donors.
That's what
new.
Yeah.
So Trump's been at this since 2015, banging the same gong, saying the same stuff.
Yeah.
You got 20% new donors when you were indicted. That tells you that you're waking up another fragment of the population.
It's pretty impressive, too.
Yeah.
To get indicted, get 20%.
And if
make $8 million off an indictment.
But if he didn't lose,
I see what you're saying.
that maybe wouldn't have woken up that other people that finally they just needed an extra look at this is real, this corruption, this stuff that's happening is real. Now they're like, holy fuck.
His new book's amazing. I'm sure you read it.
They had a party for it last night. I didn't go, but
holy hell.
Really?
Yeah.
With all the
like the letters that he was writing to
yeah.
all of them, China, and they were all cool with them. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, even he's not a politician.
Who gives a hoot?
For people like us, and I'm just gonna say Philly people.
Yeah.
We like
you
to
like
laugh.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I want to. Right.
He's right up our alley.
Yeah, I would be home at 6 to watch that to laugh. I don't care who's coming,
Yeah.
because I want to laugh, know.
Yeah.
But when you got to read this.
Yeah.
And like even not down, you just got to read it. I mean, this guy's getting along with people we never got along with, and they're writing back and forth. They won't. What's his name? Fist pumped Biden, and when you.
Remember when Trump pushed him to the side, and, put his jacket over it, and he was like, "Yeah."
But Biden, where did he go? Was it Iran maybe? And a fist pump basically.
It's in the Middle East, somewhere in the Middle East,
right?
That's no good. That's not good.
No,
maybe was it in Saudi Arabia? It was Saudi
Arabia. And a fist pump means I don't respect you. And I'm not shaking
like you're a
your
dog.
Hand. Like this sucks. I even have to take a picture with you.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is over there. And it was like that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you have any few last questions for me? I feel like my dog's been sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah. Anything you got going on that you want to push? Anything like that?
I just wanted to come to meet you guys and hang out, but I say please get yourself and your children more involved with Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk's organization.
Go back to Charlie. Yeah, we love Charlie.
Because even just follow on social media, he exposes a lot. And like I said earlier, we're losing the culture war. If you have someone like Charlie Kirk that's on your college campuses, making your kids feel like they have a place to still have values, it's and your kids can start chapters in high schools and colleges, and it's honestly like, it's
Tell us some things to click here.
like
to
those
show
are
it
just
off.
the contributors, but I would say get involved is the best thing to do. Get involved. Start come to a live event if you're in college, or just sign up to get all the alerts. And if you want to start a chapter on your high school or college, they will. It's basically turnkey. They'll tell you what to say to your school. They'll send you marketing materials. They'll put you in touch with a sponsor. So it's what you need to succeed if you're a conservative. I just talked to a young girl from Philly. You'd know her family's name. I won't say it. She's conservative and she's graduating college in New York. And I was like, you need a network. Turning Point gives you that network. Because if you're not around like-minded people, you're going to feel like you're alone in this world. Because what do we have? The singers are all telling us that we're fascists and Nazis and transphobes. And then you're armed with information to tell them what they are.
I loved it. I love what he's doing with the university and the
Yeah.
front lines with the guerrilla tactics.
Oh, I love it.
Right
I
up
can't
my
do
alley, buddy.
I don't do street level advocacy because I'm a wuss, but I know that. I identify as a wuss. But the way that Charlie does it,
Yeah. See, I wish he
Badass.
could get that front lines on like a cable network with the grill. I know how hard it is, but I'm all for him, and I've been pushing him like as far as I can, as much
Yeah.
as I can.
they'll be down here in Palm Beach. We have something in July. I'll let you guys know what it is, so you can at least stop by, and
Yeah.
because it's good to, and everyone's always here at those events,
Yeah. Well, he was asking me the other day when it was going to go on YouTube because I have a contract with Spotify, so it has to go Spotify then YouTube.
Right.
So Charlie's a good guy, great
Smart,
guy.
good,
I've been
yeah.
pushing everything I can toward him. I think he's got great things going on.
Well, I appreciate you to have me
Thank you
on.
for
I'm
having
like,
the time.
I'm not like some famous doctor or I don't know all the things.
I would have my barber on if I was interested.
Right.
It's just about who you're interested in.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought it
hopefully I was interesting enough.
You were interesting. Yeah, it was fun. It's just fun to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
absolutely.
You're big. You're on Apprentice. You've done this.
That's
You've done
true.
that.
And Sandwich made it. She no
Oh my God,
It's
sandwich.
sandwich.
I was so scared she was going to be wholly terrible.
nothing.
Nothing.
I've been feeding her this greenie for 2 hours, and I wore her out because she's so little with her little legs. I ran her around the parking lot like 20 times before we came in here.
They're so cute when they're little.
I know.
I have a. I know you want to get. I have a funny story because you like dogs, right?
Well, obviously.
I have a Royale Dosal Micro Mini French Bulldog. Okay.
Is that why you have all these French bulldogs over here?
Yeah.
What color?
She's cream.
Do you
and-
have a picture you can pull up?
Yeah,
Do it.
I have one here. I'll show you everything. And then I have Guido, who's a normal French dog, but he's like a show dog. His ears are like
yeah.
antennas. So Camilla was this big, literally, but her teeth didn't come in. So I went and I went and I got her, and they're like, "Hey, the chances of her living are 1 in a million." Blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. Give her to me. For 6 months, I had to feed her Irish butter to keep because it has a lot of calories
Yeah.
to keep her alive. Now she's not the size she's supposed to be, but literally,
Did she get teeth?
yeah, she got teeth.
I was gonna say we could get her some dentures.
give her some veneers, right? Yeah, but she was literally this big, and that's all the bigger
God
she
bless
did. It
her.
was funny, but when the teeth didn't come in, I would have to I'd have to run home all the time and feed her butter 4 times a day to keep her alive because her teeth won't come in.
Now she's a plus size model.
Yeah, she's
Oh, it's
she's
very in
plus
these
size.
days.
She's
Body
plus size.
positivity.
Yeah, positive. Yeah, God forbid I say she's fat. You know what I mean?
Fat shame me all day.
Yeah.
I'm not fat, but I.
Yeah, I got
I
a
always
fat
wanna
mini
be-
dog that I paid a ton for. That's
Right.
supposed to be mini that got fat.
Isn't that always the way? Well, thank you so much for
All
having
right,
me. You
guys.
guys are such a pleasure. Let's go to Philly and eat one day, just for one day.
Angelo's cheesesteaks. Angelo's.
No, I want to go everywhere and eat. I also want to go to Zahav.
I want to go back to Lorenzo's. I can.
Yeah.
And I want my pizza flipped.
I don't know what's the.
You know when you go to Lorenzo's, they flip. It's bigger than the plate.
Yeah, that's
Then
right.
they
Oh, the
flip it over.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah, we'll go down there. We'll all go. And I was going to ask you about 9/11 with your husband, but get out of her before she pees. You come back anytime.
I'll
We
come
live
back.
close. Yeah, you can bring her husband in.
Oh, he's fun.
If he wants to. Yeah.
He's really fun. He will talk your ear off.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring him.
Bring him
He's
in.
fun.
We'll just have fun.
Love it.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for your time. Check out Erin. We'll have all the links in the description.
Perfect. Love
All
it.
right, you and Sandwich, have a good day.
We will.
All right, thank you.